but it's just a little damn cord is so short. And when the mic was sitting on the desk, it was fine. But now it's kind of unwieldy with it
What happens if I
hanging down
do
like that. But there's a boom,
but
there's
it's just a
a
little damn
channel
cord.
in the boom arm, and I can get the extension cord, and then I'll be able to
I mean, you had 1 second to go there, farmer, and you could have went and made a cuppa. But too late.
What, in a second?
Yeah.
Take me longer than that to get out of my chair. Let alone go all the way downstairs. Blimey.
So is Paul's not joining us tonight by the look of it.
I am. I'm figuring it out.
Oh, you're figuring it out. You're not like the constipated mathematician that figured it out with a pencil. Paul's over there if you just want to know.
Yeah, I know.
He's not over
He's
here.
just not over here.
No, he's not over here.
No, it's over there.
Well, I'm over here and I'm over there. And you guys are over there too. Except when I'm over there, I'm over here.
Confused.
Right. What? Dora says, no, Paul, no hard quiz. A win-win. Well, it's not very nice.
Oh, the quiz doesn't matter. We've got plenty of bottle caps, Dora. I could do 10 questions a day for a while, and that'd get rid of my bottle caps.
What, in how many weeks?
I've accumulated them over time, so you get 24 in a carton, so use the math.
Well, I don't know how many cartons you get through in a week.
I only buy one. I only average 1 carton a fortnight on payday.
Oh, right. Okay, then.
Wow. What do you think? I'm an alcoholic or something?
or just a steady drinker.
Yeah.
Because nobody admits to being an alcoholic.
Yeah, 1 a fortnight. I'll buy a carton to do me for the fortnight.
My ex never did, but there's a good reason she bought wine by the box.
Oh. M something G something hyphenated M something.
I also took up less room in a recycling bin.
Do it right the first time. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. What? There's no
And
D.
their hair.
They forgot. Yeah, they forgot about the D. It didn't fit. They didn't plan ahead.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like I say, it's the six P's of planning, isn't it?
Piss poor performance, was it? No.
Yeah.
Or
Prior
preparation and planning.
Prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
That's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Came out horribly wrong.
Hey, Mr. Carl.
It's Mr. Edwards. Bloody hell. Must still have power then.
Yeah, I was just about to ask him how much time we got. Dart put BBC News interview ISS crew. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is, Dart. I didn't look.
8-year-old girl talks to ISS crew on ham radio.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, those are the flurfers that say it must be faked.
Madame Geiger Counter Muller.
Okay. You're on high alert for a power cut. Okay.
I think there is a clue forthcoming.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only keystrokes had a
Geiger
Morse
counter
code, sound with it, that we could work it out.
Today's Nobel Prize winner is one of only 3 in this category to have won a Nobel Prize in physics.
Okay. How many others is there?
Well, presumably 2. If this is one of only three.
What? What's that, Zebulon? Did he? First I've well,
heard
you
of
know
it.
something we don't know?
Bless, he messaged me yesterday and said, "Here, did you go to this festival?" What, the one that was 10 minutes away from my house? Yes, of course I went. Yes, Fred, you're right. He does like the shouting too much. Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Damn, it fits as well. But somehow I don't think MGM got a Nobel Prize in physics.
No.
They don't generally
think they do.
tend to give it to companies, do they?
In a way, he's kind of close on one part.
What, the initials?
No.
So it's kind of quite a niche category then, because there's only 1 and 3 in this category to have won a Nobel Peace Prize. Nobel Prize in Physics, sorry.
Oh, he
Obviously,
says
quite a few people have won a Nobel Prize in physics. But
Yeah,
there's a
but in
certain
this
group of
category,
people that have only 3 in this group have actually won it. This person is one of them.
Zeb's saying he doesn't see him around much. Well, I haven't really heard of Rumpus lately. I don't know where he's been hiding.
Well, he could just be sort of busy with stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
He's in Blues. He's in Blues server enough, isn't he?
Yeah. I
In fact,
think he did go in not Bev server the other day.
I was going to say, I turned up to listen to one of Blue's live streams, listened to Becky, and then kind of disappeared off because it was obvious that Rumpus wasn't going to let anybody else talk.
Well, no, he doesn't.
oh, is that Bev's server that's not Bev's server, but
Yeah, it's not.
but actually is Bev's server?
No, it's not Bev's server.
But it is Bev's server.
No,
No.
it's Emma's server. He just treats it as his, and he just lets everybody thinks it's his. It's like all the photos that he posts everywhere. They're not his photos. He never took them. He doesn't take photos through auto levels.
All right. So it's that server.
Nothing
Bev's
that Bev presents as his is actually his. So he can then say, "Well, that wasn't me."
He's a not kind of guy, you know.
He is. He
Not
has.
a flat
He has.
earther.
He has. Yeah, he's not a
Not
flat
the guy
earther.
that took the pictures.
Huh?
Not the guy that owns the server.
He's
Yeah.
not a flat earther, but he says the Earth is flat though quite regularly.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
He said it in said it to Chike.
No,
in
it's
chat.
it's not flat. It's not flat, and he can prove it.
He said it was flat. He's changed his mind then.
Yeah, 2 years ago he said it was flat.
Yeah, the only evidence any of us have got of him saying it's flat Earth ceased towards the latter part of 2019.
Well, didn't Chike post something the other day?
Yeah,
On the Jose's?
Yeah, you can go back in Bev's Twitter stream and you can find all of these tweets where he's saying the Earth is flat and blah blah blah, and you'll get to about August or September of 2019, and all that stops because that's when he started changing his tune. We're not supposed to remember it, mention it, post evidence of it, anything at all.
So so is this stuff that Chike posted, the screen printed, is that post 2019 then?
Well, I don't know which one you're on about.
Yeah, it was at Jose's yesterday. I think you were muted at the time. You posted it in the debate box.
Let me have a look.
It was 2 screenshots of him saying it.
Yeah, I think I know the ones you mean because I think I've got copies of them too, and they date from 2019.
All right.
And that was about the time that he started changing things and sort of saying, "Oh, he's not a flat earther."
I like the way Dross does it the other direction. He's not a glober. He's a flat Earth skeptic.
Yeah.
That's quite good. I like that.
Well, all you got to do is ask Bev what you think the shape of the Earth is.
Okay, I know we won't get a straight answer. I know.
No. Not in a million years. Not going to happen.
It's not flat because it's got mountains on it. Pretty much is what he says.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some good news and I've got some bad news.
It was a bad news first.
I can't find any debates.
And what's the good news?
We can play Lindsay instead.
It's always good for a laugh, though.
Hey, Peanuts, are you all looking forward to more Lindsay?
Well, only because there was no debates the last few days.
No, they haven't been. No, I've seen.
That was the last.
I suppose you did MC2 and Trey on Wednesday, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Cations, yeah.
Cajuns, yeah.
Cations, I think it was.
Cation, yeah.
Cation.
Cations. Deep fried onions and cations.
Yes, onions and cations.
Well, I don't think he ever actually said onions. He only ever said cations, didn't he?
I can't remember.
Yeah, pretty sure he did. But yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, it's an unusual word with a weird spelling, so you can't blame somebody for pronouncing it wrong. But when you get when somebody says, "Well, actually, that word's pronounced this way," and you just insist on carrying on pronouncing it wrong, that's when you show how much of an idiot you are, isn't it?
Yes.
When you claim to have an engineering degree and you can't say the word cat iron, then there's something wrong.
Yeah, clearly.
True.
I just want all these peanuts have got all these things that they've got to do. Oh shit! I forgot. I left my oven on at my mum's. Be right back. got to go.
Yeah,
got to go
funny that.
2,200 kilometres. Maybe we could listen to Gary play the rubber banjo. No, he hasn't done any. I mean, we could always go to somebody's channel and. Who did we have the other day that was new? There was a new one. Oh, shit! Now I can't find it.
I saw.
We
I
played
think
it
it was an
last.
old
We
one.
played them last week. There was two of them. There was a female and a male, one after the other. Ah, bugger!
Do we?
I've got no idea where to put them now. Where they went. Bugger! Jose's putting his videos in any other vids because for some reason he's not getting shilled properly over in Show Your Shit, so I've got no idea. I've gone over to the bot and I can't figure it out what's going on.
That'll be because he lost his channel and start a new one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I've got to find his channel he's got now and then reset it.
Yep.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm not doing that right now. That'll take time. No, I can't find these other people that we played last week. I don't even know where they would have went.
Don't even remember them.
They're only just very short ones. Yeah. Got no idea where they went. I can't remember who posted them.
Well, I'm just looking at all the excuses, and it's like I just remembered that I need to put a second coat on my fence,
Yeah.
which means I need to nip to B&Q in Northampton first and buy another dirty great big tub of that stuff, then come back here and spend 4 hours painting it again.
Do it tomorrow. Sunday's tomorrow. Sort of job for a Sunday.
I don't know. Might rain.
It might rain today. What do you mean? Have you seen the forecast?
Ain't gonna rain today.
Fred's got to go and do his septic tank again.
Yeah, have to be done regularly. Yes.
Carl's going to go and scrape out his elephant earwax.
Silly
Put a coat on the fence. Get yourself a clothesline, farmer.
Yeah, I've got 2 of them. The old knackered one and the new, not quite so knackered one.
Okay, Brian, you better go and buy that.
Headlight fluid.
Yeah, blinker
Yeah,
light fluid. Yeah, blinker fluid.
Get some new spurving bearings.
So did anyone see the 3 images that Travis, aka Etherband, posted in Geo's server, claiming that all these 3 photos were taken from the same position with the same focal length at the same observer height?
No, I'm not in that server on purpose.
I'd like your opinion, Alan, because the first thing I thought when I first saw them was liar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in that server, but if you could acquire the images,
I'll share my screen. I'll share my screen, Alan, and you can have a look, right?
Oh, yeah, this would be good for a laugh.
Yeah,
See
save
what
me
you
going
think.
looking for him.
All right. So
Yeah.
can you see that image there?
Yeah.
Yes, I see the image there.
Yeah.
Right, that's one of the images. I've got to figure out how to.
A bit of refraction going on there, yeah.
Let me see. I've got to figure out how to shift the. That's it. Right. So now here's another one of the images.
That's a different day, I would suggest.
And here's the 3rd image.
Alright.
So, same focal length, same viewer location.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Gibberish.
As Baldrick
entirely-
put it, gobbledygook.
Entirely
day,
different field
different
of view,
blo-
right?
Yeah, different day, different field of view, different focal lengths, different everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's clearly a different field of view
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no matter, the refraction ain't going to change that. So I reckon he's FOS.
Most definitely. Well, we know he is anyway, but good grief.
Yeah.
I just say it out loud. He's full of shit. Let's just
He is.
just say FOS. He's just full of shit.
And also, given that, like, we accused him of cropping the images, right? He said, no, I didn't crop the images. 2 of the images are 1440 by 1080, and the other one's like about 4 times the resolution.
You guys can see all that. Is that the same photos?
They're the ones, yeah.
I can see a little house or a hut or whatever it is on 3 of them. 4 of them. 5 and 6 of them.
Yeah, they're obviously not, because the red thing, which shouldn't be moving, is definitely showing parallax differentiation with the bloody background. And significant parallax shifts. So he must have moved the camera a good distance.
These photos, they all taken on the same location, the same focal length. These demonstrate the effect of lumen conditions at high activity. Absolute gibberish. I mean, you look at the middle ones for starters, just looking at the middle ones, it stands out the most. Or when actually, they're all bloody completely different. What am I talking about? I'm talking nonsense myself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So not only do the fields of view change, but the location very obviously changes as well, doesn't it?
Well, as the saying goes, you've got to light a fluff.
Yep.
Mm.
Well, speaking of lies and flirt,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Lindsay.
Oh look, I've just made my cup of tea turn have the same problem that Farmer's cup of tea's got.
Yeah, that's definitely empty.
you got a container problem.
I have got a container problem. I've got a container that's not containing anything except healthy fresh air.
So I'd say that was the last one. That one.
Yeah. Well, don't. Yeah, well,
If you get somebody who actually convinces themselves of their own lies, who actually believes their own lies, are they a liar?
Yeah.
well, yeah, because they're lying.
Hmm. But they don't think they're lying.
So
No.
I might have known I'd get that reaction from you farmers.
yeah,
Bloody lying, that's it.
well, he is.
Well, okay. All right.
Sorry, I hear too many of these idiots go. There's no curvature. You've got no proof of it. You've got no measurements of it. You've got no photos of it. We've got
Yeah.
all of them.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got no photos from space.
That's right. We've got no photos from space. We've only been doing it since 1946. But hey, none of they're all fake. None of it's real.
And
Yeah.
rockets don't work in a vacuum.
That's right. They need the air to push off. Yeah, because that's why we use rockets, because there's so much air up there. Hang on a minute.
I don't know if you've seen that meme that's got the boat going on the water and then the air in the aircraft and submarine pushing off water, the boat pushes off the water, submarine pushes the water, blah, blah, blah. And it's got the space shuttle. What does a space shuttle push off? I've seen that very meme about, I don't know, I must have seen that about 9 or 10 times this week. And each person that posts it on Facebook thinks they've cracked it. They've got the answer. Debunked. I'm the first one to realise this.
It pushes off itself.
Yeah.
That's how rockets work.
In the
That's why we have to use bloody rockets, because there's nothing else up there. There's certainly not enough air for a normally aspirating jet engine to work off. So I have bloody rockets.
I'd use propellers.
Or pixie dust.
Yeah, fresh out of pixie dust.
Oh, there we go. We're out of stock, are we? Okay.
You need protection, Elmings. That's it. Oh, we better put it to
Lindsay speed.
Lindsay speed.
Yeah, and you better put the volume up as well because we won't hear him.
What do you want?
Anything else, Farmer? Matt, sorry.
No, that's it.
That's it.
Apart from Terry,
Yeah. Yes, Matt.
press play.
Okay.
Please.
Please.
Welcome
I
back
just
to
said
Flathead
please.
Philosophy.
He said
This is the second
please.
video and me describing
shut up,
the Flathead
Farms.
model.
Yeah, shut up,
Just put a
Farmer.
video up describing the Flathead model.
Yeah, shut up,
15
Farms.
minutes.
Yeah, but how are we supposed to
That'll
hear
be part
Lindsay
one,
if
so
you
just
keep
expand
talking
on that
over
a little
him?
bit more information. So this is
Well, that's the
part
whole
two.
point. You're not supposed
So
to.
it
Bloody
can't be
hell.
debunked. Everything physics knows basically matches this model. It's just
Oh,
that
don't make me
it's
laugh, it
like
hurts.
they've gone to watch the physicists and the science wannabes have all gone to watch a physicist
You right,
science
Matt?
movie
You
about
need
creation.
some help?
Yeah, but they've gone into the wrong
No,
picture theatre and they're
just-
watching Mickey Mouse.
Just my wound
So at the
still
end of the day, they
hurts.
think the Mickey
need
Mouse
jumpstart.
cartoon movie
Okay, we
was
won't make you
physics
laugh
and
then.
science.
Don't
That's
say
all right.
anything
I've got an
funny.
automatic. I've got an automatic jump start already.
Okay, we won't make you laugh. We won't say anything funny.
So check out video one. I'm now going to expand on that and show you how the celestial bodies work. So we've got the tropical gap around here. Centre north.
The what?
Here's north, okay?
Carl said
Everything's
keep
going
Probably
around
talking.
big
this.
tit.
What do you mean? Why are we going to keep
And this-
talking,
we see
Carl?
the celestial bodies.
So they can't
So
hear
they're all out
Lindsay.
here in their layers. And that is associated to the
A tropical
basically the
gap.
firmament.
What's
Because
that one
they're all
saying?
laid like this above our heads. So you look at it that way in the firmament, but you
I
look
think
at
that's
that
a
way,
charming young lady he met
we're
once in
looking
the
at that
Philippines.
model. That's a tropical gap. That's where they're all sitting. And they're layered like that.
Must have been a big
the
gap.
moon
Well, yeah.
wanders across the full moon.
Jesus said, I paid $50 for this
Wanders back in
esoteric
to,
knowledge, and you
no,
guys
that's new
talk
moon.
over
The
it.
moon wanders out to full moon and then wanders back in. As it's, it's going around every
Who'd you
day,
pay
of course.
$50 to?
And all the planets are going around every day. They all stay here. They do not wander that way or that way. They stay in their circuits. They never cross each other. That's told in the Timaeus, I think. It's Plato's dialogue anyway. They do not cross each
Good
other.
or what?
As the moon will cross over, she's basically feeding her children. The moon
What?
and the planets are classed
Come
as
again?
You're
electrons,
feeding your children.
electrons,
What are you feeding your children?
or females. The sun back here. We'll do an exploded view of creation right back here now, where the sun is on the horizon of the black hole vortex. The sun stays back in the centre here and projects its light out. Okay? Let's bring the sun around here, shall we?
I ain't going to project it in, is it?
Away from that picture there. The sun will shine its light across the black hole and project its image out here in the tropical zone where we see it. They're all projections. All these are projections from in here.
Why does the sun need to
It's all
project
picture
its
here.
image? Why can't
No,
it just
yeah,
be
it's all
there?
the ring
Where
of
it
I
fire
need
is.
more
here.
tea. I can't handle this.
First video. All projected out into this ring here. So the sun will move around this hole, around the horizon of the black hole. As it's moving around, projects its light out. Moves around a bit more. Oops, sorry.
Our farmers is going to make a cuppa,
If
Matt.
the sun's there, it's projecting across the hole. That's where
I
we see
know.
the sun.
I'm going to go and feed me cat.
It's moving around. It's like across the hole.
Am I
Right.
going to be the only one left?
No, the only problem is
Plane,
the only problem is I haven't got a cat.
Equilibrium, that's the equinox.
Oh.
From the centre point, it will start, well, it actually goes like this. If you can imagine it's doing that, and then it goes back up and in. It's down and out, up and in. Maybe there's some association with the Australian boomerang. This is down and out, southern summer solstice, up and in is the northern summer solstice.
Down and
This
out,
is
up
the
and in.
ecliptic plane. It does this. The sun will go around out there and then winds back up and in. Winding back up and in. So you're getting this pyramid thing effect sitting here because you've got the sun still back up in the centre. That's what the seasons are doing. So that creates the sun moving in and out across the ecliptic plane. Down and out, up and in is in here. Only projections. All the information's back here. Earth is the second state. That's why it's false. Lots of lies. Because it is. It's imitation. It's not the real thing. The real McCoy's back here. Singularity. Singularity.
Yeah, I was
Oh, we're
down.
not real.
I was down and out. I was down and out, but I got back on. Oh, Alan.
Jesus, that's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
One picture. In the physical world, 1, 2 pictures. The northern horizon, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. That's how it works, okay? Here's the sun, it's the proton. The other video I showed a bit about the electron pairing, what's happening, the pairing that's going on here. Previous video showed as well. There's the pairing in the tropics region here is the pairing of creation. Pairing to create rest, equilibrium, the black hole.
I'll see if I can get back out again what I was saying. I was down and out once, but I got back on my feet again.
Earth is from, the state of rest. Earth is fixed and stationary, does not move. The field around it moves. Because this is all in the Milky Way. And this is the field here is what science calls gravity. And then they make up their big bullshit stories about holding us to a ball.
Hi Gary,
No,
why don't you ever
everything
come on the
falls back
panel,
to state of
Gary?
inertia,
Have a
the state
chat.
of rest. Every living thing is part of the field, not of Earth. Because Earth is fixed and stationary, it doesn't move, it's solid. But the toroidal field comes out of the centre.
That's right, Judy. Maybe Gary might
Let's just concentrate on the
reinterpret
northern
what
hemisphere.
Lindsay's saying.
I doubt it.
Just a mirror image anyway.
Globebusters didn't understand.
It
I'm pretty
expands
sure you
out.
won't.
It's expanding, look. Expands. From this point here. All living things expand with the field because we are in the field. We are light beings. All life is from the light, from the sun. If the toroidal field expands out like this, then every man will expand in that field. So he will get from there to there quicker, faster because he's bigger. Sometimes it's a bit hard to explain that. So
Size
that
matters.
is equal to this. It's all about the toroidal field. The toroidal field. The hyperboloid. There's the big hyperboloid. Torus field. The Earth is through there. The sun is created up here.
I'm sure there's
It's
a
not
cream
there.
for that,
That's the
Lindsay.
Earth. There's always two to the picture. It's a duality. Positive, negative. Below Earth coming up.
Where's Professor
Positive
Phil?
coming down from the tropical
Drawn
cap.
boobs again, Lindsay.
So, Earth is not shrinking back to a ball. There's the tropics. It's not shrinking back to a ball just because we get there quicker. No. That's what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you it all shrinks back. Earth doesn't, but the field does. Because the bigger it gets, the quicker we're getting from A to B. I don't think I'm explaining this very well.
No, I don't
This
think
is
so.
stretching. So let's say back here you've got to drive 50,000 miles, but
I don't
because you're
think you
so
could
big
ever
here, you just
explain
take one
it.
giant leap. And you can take one big leap and you step over to there. Well, if you put all these big leaps together, it's all going to come back to a small area. And they're trying to tell you that's Antarctica. You know, at the bottom of your ball. When really at the end of the day, Antarctica is still all the way around here.
Yeah.
You're just taking giant leaps to get
It's a
around here now.
long way to travel
You've
all the way around
expanded with the
Antarctica.
field. You know, humans are finding that really hard to comprehend, but at the same time, they're going along with the fact that Earth is shrinking back to a ball. I mean, they're stupid enough to think they live on the outside of a spinning ball for a starter, and they're agreeing with the fact that the Earth is shrinking back to a ball. So the Earth can shrink, but trying to tell man that he can expand in the field.
There's
I mean,
shrinkage,
science
Matt.
knows darn well we're all resonating frequencies.
Yeah, so
resonating,
that can be a
vibrating
problem.
atoms,
Well, if it's cold, you know.
resonating to a frequency, vibrating at probably 350,000 vibrations per second.
So if we're not living
They
on the
know all that.
outside of the globe,
They
then
know
where are
we're
we
part of the
living?
light. We're in the light field, we're in the magnetic field. The ether,
in a box,
the magnetic
box.
field, the
That's
torus.
living in a box.
I like
They know it all
boxes.
expand, you know, everything expands out from the centre in the torus. The flat earth map is equidistant, which means it's equal. If your longitude, moving laterally, is a longitude. Going that way is latitude. Equal, all the way around, equal. And then they use the word
So you just
azimuth,
draw north-south as
because there's your flat earth,
latitude and
there's your centre
longitude
vortex.
was east-west.
And over like that, over like, they call it azimuthal because
Boobs.
they're
Where?
using the
Oh.
toroidal field, the curve of
Professor
the
Phil's
toroidal
not
field,
here.
to ascertain distance across the flat plane. But I've just shown you across the flat plane curves like this. Just working on the northern hemisphere. curving like this. You take that distance, that curve adds up to half this curve. There's a tropical gap. Then the southern hemisphere makes up the rest of the curve.
Is that tropical gap again?
Yeah.
Lateral curving magnetic field across the plane. And there's the northern one. This lateral curving field, magnetic field, equals this azimuthal, they call it. But forget this. It's down laterally on the flat earth.
Carl had to be
These
different.
magnetic curves will follow. This is what a compass
And
follows.
Stewie.
The compass will follow this curving field all the way to the north. There's the tropical gap. You go dead north to south. Let's go that way. Dead north to dead south. There's the southern hemisphere. Your compass will lead you this way. You get across here, depending what distance you are. If you've got the same compass you're using here to take you this way, once you get over here, that same compass
Well,
will
you're
start
going to use a
pointing this way
different compass?
to the south. That's why we have two different hemisphere compasses there.
Oh, it's that way.
They're weighted, magnetised.
I was waiting for that.
So that field curves like this, and this field curves like this. So you're going to travel south, you're going to follow this curve all the way to the south. And then you get south, and it goes like this. You go around circles. It comes back like this. There's south. This will be Antarctica somewhere about there. Well, maybe it's back in here. But anyway, south is here. It's not out there. It's in here. So it goes around there, swings in here. Dead south. Your compass starts going haywire here, going all over the place. You'd easily get lost. How are you going to try and keep travelling south? You've got no idea. You can't follow a compass. I doubt whether a drone or anything's going to stay long out there in the freezing cold. and like they say in that American Almanac, well no, it's at the encyclopedia, they hit the dome. Come out here at 13,000 feet. There's the dome. They hit the dome.
Looks like he's drawn a penis and cock
You
inside
can't
those
get out of here
things.
anyway. You fall apart. The human body cannot
Really does.
sustain life past this
Cock and
point.
balls inside that booth.
Just like you cannot get right into the dead
Yeah,
center
Carl
of the
said, I
Arctic.
think
here.
my elephant's
That's what they
earwax
call it,
just
place of
explained.
inaccessibility.
Uh-huh.
It's a circle you cannot get into. And creation is all hidden in here. The Irish mythological stories. Something Nor, Naga Nor, Ugana, whatever. All about this
Yeah,
hidden
whatever.
secret place here. Where people don't age. Because it's all about the pure hydrogenated water being recycled through the system to be dropped around the Buford Galaxy.
Dehydrated
All
water.
the fresh
Right.
water.
Yeah.
It all comes down from the sun as mist.
Yeah, you just got to add
The
more
sun.
water to it.
It's cold fusion because this helium gas is turned back to liquid at about 230 degrees negative, minus. So it's not exactly hot, is it? It goes by here and it turns to mist and comes back to liquid. And it leaves the centre north Arctic and probably, is it 4 routes or 3? Can't remember. I think didn't we have 4 continents on the old flat earth maps? It's probably represented by just these 4 waterways under the, subterranean aqueducts that send us fresh water through the earth. Obviously, all the fresh water doesn't come from here. You get a lot from your local clouds and stuff. But this pure hydrogenated water has to be flowing through places like underneath the
Was
pyramids.
it dehydrated monoxide? Is it maybe
creating
that?
this system
Better
here.
one.
You need the
I'm
pure
still getting my
water.
head round underground
That's what
aqueduct.
the Naga Nor, whatever
Yeah.
it's called, myth is all about. You need the pure water to keep the system flowing, and the human body needs that pure water. We don't get it. We get the shit out of the local council system full of flippin' fluoride. They're killing you. They don't give a shit about you. The royal family's not drinking this crap.
What are you
Okay.
drinking then, Lindsay?
It's video 2. What else can I
The
talk
hydrogen
about?
monoxide.
So you've got the celestial bodies sussed. Remember the stars we see in our horizon, they come from the east. They go across our arc of horizon. This is the southern hemisphere, north. They appear, you can't tell they're coming from behind you, can you? No, but that's what they're doing. Because you can't see the other half of them. the 24 hour because it's the sunny side. But you're only seeing your arc of horizon. You're in the centre. You see nighttime all around you. But they're basically coming out of daytime into night, down there, and then back around there in the daytime. Because it's all reflected from back in here. Because they swing out of here. And they do the same thing back in here. And that's always moving around.
Yeah, of course it is.
Always moving around. Always moving around. You've seen pictures like, not quite like that, but you've seen how they go.
Is he trying to
I've got no idea what he's trying to draw.
recreate the precession of the planets or something?
Or the sun.
Or is it the
All
sun?
moving around the black hole. And the sun moves quicker, so they cannot go around the sun.
Oh,
The
yeah.
sun sticks out
Still
here.
banging on about the sun.
They go around the sun,
I
it's
zoned out
caused the
for a
big
while.
elliptic, which it does not. Science is screwed up there. They follow the circle, because they don't pass the sun catches up. So that all the planets are just doing circles on their separated noble gas layers. They spew when I say noble gas, they can't get their head around it. How can water turn to helium? Oh, wow.
They can't.
They can figure that one out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everything comes from water. It is written. Just like the earth is from the hole.
Everything
It's
comes
the
from water, does it?
Yeah.
It's written somewhere.
place of
written.
rest.
Written down.
Where's it written?
Equilibrium, it's stable,
Down
does
there.
not move. The ether
Down there.
The minute
moves,
he'll write
and
it.
we are all in the ether.
Written on his
So we're
arm.
moving in the ether with the light. Light beings. The ether expands, then all life will
Beams.
expand with it. And it's all relative
Spain.
to your latitude. It's all relative to the observer in that latitude.
Uh-huh.
You can't film, you can't test it, you can't film it, compare it, you can't film from the north to see someone in the south, twice the size. This is why they have something to do with the Bible saying there were giants in those days.
Don't know.
I don't think it's anything to do with big people. Giants in those days, slaying the giants. You know why? Because there's the southern hemisphere, the alignment I was telling you about, coming out of the north there, slaying is, this is the divine story of man's awakening, dying, your physical world
What?
mentality,
What?
dying off and being reborn in spirit. This is the dying, the killing, the hanging, the noose, it's all here. There's alignment. Where did that
Alignment
come
of
from?
what?
Alignment. We've gone blank. What are we talking about? Alignments.
He's
Quick,
forgotten.
make something up.
No?
Yeah, quick,
Lost it.
quick.
Make it up quickly,
Sorry,
Lindsay.
lost that
Come on.
one.
Quick.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
giants,
gone back totally.
hangman's noose or something. I don't know. Blah blah blah. Yada yada.
South coming
Hangman jury.
to the north. South matching this north. Oh, really like that. North is the matching.
Yeah, there you go.
matching.
Make it up there.
Because that picture
Cover up quick.
is creating this picture.
If you draw it,
This picture
that's true.
It's always doing this.
If you draw it, they
All
will
the way
come.
around the northern
Right.
hemisphere. So no matter where you are out
What
south,
pattern he's drawn?
there's your circular picture of the star trails. He's looking this way, there's his. Obviously it's got to be at your night time. And that star rotation will go around here in
Obviously.
24 hours and turn up here. 4
Simple.
minutes
Hey,
back that way.
Draw the giants, quick.
No sneeze. The stars are not
Doesn't
before, of course, but you've got 4 minutes of new stars that have come in front because the sun is raced ahead by 4 minutes, exposing more stars, but chewing up the stars up
Carl
front,
says I've gone blank too. I
exposing
think we
more
all have.
stars back here. Got all that? And everything is projection from the centre, all projected out like a clock.
How?
The sun casting out, the moon's casting out, all the planets all cast out
Don't
into this tropical
Ask
gap.
difficult questions, Terry.
All
No,
shown
no.
here. Because this tropical gap is the ring of fire back in the centre of creation, hidden in a place the size of an apple, possibly.
Yeah, don't eat curry.
Okay.
You'll have a ring of fire. Or chili.
Earth is like a ring
Burning
magnet.
ring of fire. Somebody did a song about that.
The hyperboloid from the centre, creating the flux.
What?
The toroidal field is the flux of the magnet. Okay. Should we leave it there? Getting your head around the fact that every man has his arc of horizon. A nice
Come in
180
close,
degree
Lindsay.
arc, just like Earth has one, from the north to the south, which is called a meridian.
Oh, it's
That's
just like
called
countdown.
azimuth.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at
Remember
the
this
timer.
projection up here is cast
He's
down
got 1
on
minute.
the
He's got
Earth's
about a minute
lateral
and a
curving
half
magnetic
left.
field lines. So take these two arcs, put them up here. 1, 2. What do you got? It equals this here. But man is here, and he has his own arc like this, and everything's perpendicular to him. That's quite obvious, because anybody can get on a big ship, stand here, say, oh, the sun comes to him. You race down here, oh, the sun comes to him. Race back here then, oh, the sun still comes to him. It's all coming to you, because you are the centre of creation. You are out of the centre of the black hole, or from the black hole.
Oh, am
That's
I?
where Earth is,
Oh,
and everything is
thank you
moving
very much.
around you. Everything is moving around.
I'm the centre of
right from the
creation.
centre.
You should bow before me.
Hyperboloid
Okay.
is the inversion,
Oh, I'm
inversion
sorry,
of the
my
torus.
knees are giving me jip. I can't do that.
The torus is
I
the
thought we only bowed before
slow
Zod.
image of the hyperboloid.
Oh yeah, Zod. Got about him.
You want that explained in technical terms? Watch Ken Wheeler. The Epiphasis,
Ken Wheeler.
whatever he calls himself. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
No, he calls himself Uncle Fester.
Ah,
Right, I hope you're all taking notes because there'll be
Yeah.
a quiz.
I didn't even know what note to take.
Now, I was taking notes on every sensible and logical point that he made.
And I know what you ended up
Got
with.
nothing.
A blank
Blank
piece of
sheet of
paper.
paper,
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm the centre of the universe. That's good to know.
I thought
Your
he was
name's not
talking to me.
Zod.
No, me clearly meant me.
Oh, okay. I think he
Very
did.
nice of him, though.
Grumpy just said, "Oh no, Lindsay just posted a video while we were watching."
Oh, no,
that
he
one."
didn't, did he?
Well, another one, did he? It was just going to be exactly the same, or it was going to sound the same anyway.
I posted right now. Wow.
As Alan would say, it'd just be blub, 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 blub.
Blub, 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 blub. Blub,
Yeah,
blub, blub.
exactly. Blub, 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 blub.
If he done him live, we could comment live on him. But he doesn't do anything like that.
Mm.
I think that's why he doesn't get very high up in the top left and that sort of awards. Simply because he doesn't interact. He puts all this derp out, but he won't interact. Doesn't interact with anybody, does he?
No.
Well, the only thing I know he's done outside of his own channel is Globebusters. That's the only thing I know he's done. But not many
Yes,
people have heard that either.
He's been on there once, hasn't he? I think.
Yeah,
Even they were scratching their heads.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of like,
You could hear it in Bob's voice. He was sort of, yeah, well,
thank you, thank you, Lindsay. That was interesting. Moving along.
and considering the sort of shot that they'll put out to get them to that point, you know, of scratching their heads and going, moving on.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you know
Zebulon.
just how bad it is.
No, sorry, Zebulon. He won't come on any Mickey Mouse channels. They have to be big
No.
channels.
How many subscribers has he got now?
Lindsay,
A
over
lot.
over 1,000.
Over 1,000.
Yeah.
And I bet 750 of those are people just like watching him because it's just something to laugh at, or critique if you can. If
He's
that's
got
possible.
4.48 subs.
You're missing a letter off the end there.
Yeah.
K.
He's got 4,000 of them. All right.
I'll tell you what. Let's have a look at his social blade. What do we want? Flat Earth.
It's strange how people can put crap out and then get all that amount of subs for it.
Yeah, 4,480 subs. Just shy of 137,000 video views.
Oh, you would if we paid him. Timbo's going. Or was he another one of those Mitchells, is he, or someone similar?
Well, he's not making money off YouTube. Let's put it that way.
I would have thought it would have been difficult to get his videos monetized.
Yes.
What's that, Truth? Exactly. Remember that this was too much woo for a guy who tried to put an optical gyro in a beryllium tube to block out the heavenly energies.
Yes. Thanks, Bob. Oh, look, we've got a gyro. Oh, look, it's picked up the rotation of the Earth. Oh, it must be something else. I'll put it in the beryllium tube to block out these so-called heavenly energies I've just made up. Oh, it's still picking up 15 degrees an hour. Oh, it must be something else then.
No. Just beryllium obviously doesn't block the heavenly energies after all.
No, clearly.
No, I wonder if SC Montreal's bought his gyro yet.
Don't know.
Or generalism. Henrique, can you hold up the torch? Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Enrique, holding
You
the torch
didn't leave
higher.
enough
How
dramatic
high is the torch?
pause, Matt.
I know. Sorry. I'm not good at this acting stuff.
You've got to have that little bit of confusion where he goes, oh, okay, hold up your torch. How high are you, Enrique? Oh, can you hold it up any higher? Interesting. Shit, there's a film crew watching all of this. Bollocks.
Didn't somebody of the film crew say, well, doesn't that prove curvature? And did he not say something like something that the reeds were covering it or something?
Oh, I can't remember.
Probably some excuse or something.
Yeah, some old bollocks he'd have come up with. Just challenge Lindsay to a debate. Is that supposed to be Psy? Oh, I suppose the I and the 8 are close together, yeah.
Why would you want to try to debate Lindsay?
What's there to debate?
Yeah, well, question.
I'd ask him how he managed to escape from the asylum.
Yeah.
Is that a debate?
Or if he's still in one, how much does he bribe the nurses to give him access to the internet?
And how long will that conversation last?
Yeah.
Not very long.
No.
I can't even
Welcome to
imagine
Fed
trying to talk to Lindsay.
Who? No, I can't imagine anybody debating him.
Well, he's got no comments under his videos yet.
Does he allow comments?
Yeah. Under his video.
What can anybody say though? I mean,
it must be something I can say.
Like
Well,
what?
you ought to read some of his comments that he gets, at least the ones he keeps, telling him how brilliant it was.
Here, hang on. He's got a bigger memory card.
Why has he gone over 20 minutes? Has he gone over the normal time?
5 days and 8 days ago, he put up videos that are 30 minutes long.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
There are still quite a few videos that are 27 minutes and 13 seconds, but there's at least 2 there that there's another one 2 weeks ago. Jesus on the cross. That's 30 minutes long.
Yeah. Well, we all know why they stop at 30 minutes because, he hasn't actually got a video camera, has he? I'm sure he's using a still camera with a video mode on it.
Yeah, I'm going to put on a comment under his latest video.
Less import duty in most countries.
I'm so confused about your videos, Lindsay. Could you please come on my show and explain in more detail?
Oh, God, no, please. Don't. Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure that's the day I can't be here.
Yeah. I'm going to be sick that day.
I'll be at a little store somewhere. I'm sure.
I bet you anything that he wouldn't come on. But I just want to see what response.
No, I know he wouldn't.
Would you
Oh, you might though, Terry. Don't.
appear?
Terry, careful what you wish for.
Yeah, be very careful what you wish for.
Be very careful.
He spat up my drink then.
Very careful.
Don't do that again.
I'm only doing this for the laugh.
Oh, I love those old Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Oh, I'd had a mouthful of orange juice then, and he spat it all out. And he said that.
Hey, we got to do it, Alan. Yay.
There you go. I'm so confused. Would you appear on my show to explain in more detail? There you go.
Oh, no.
You're on your own, sir.
Yeah.
I've got. There you
Well,
go.
if you're going to do that, Tara, I expect you to have a long list of questions afterwards.
I've only got one question, and it's only got 3 letters in the word.
Yeah, I can almost hear him sort of saying, "Did you understand that? No. Which bit didn't you understand? All of it."
Captain
Which bit
said
specifically,
you just found the answer of how to lose all your friends
All of it.
and alienate people with just one email.
Yeah. He'll strike your channel now.
We'll see if he's got a sense of humour.
I doubt it.
I'm getting fired. I'm going to surgery that day to get a bullet out of my foot.
Did you know there's a museum dedicated to failure? Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there was.
It
had-
failed.
You had, Matt,
Yeah.
you had some homework.
Oh, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, did you know?
And now
Yeah.
we have Matt with his homework.
So, did you know there's a museum dedicated to failure, boasting around 159 failed products and innovations? The Touring Museum of Failure displays things such as bad ideas, Harley Davidson perfume. I remember that. Colgate frozen entrees, and Microsoft Zune. Do you remember Microsoft Zune?
No.
Remember that? It was like a music streaming platform. It was devices plus an app and all the rest of it. Yeah, that failed. There you go. It's in the Museum of Failures. A few others in there as well. There was another one I thought was quite good as well. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Did you know the Loch Ness monster contained Loch Ness monster? Loch Ness contains more fresh water than all English lakes combined. Is that
Yes, I have. Yes, I've seen that some. I think because of its depth, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's effing huge and
Huge.
effing deep.
it is
Yes.
effing huge. Located in Scotland, Loch Ness I can't even say it. Loch Ness holds more fresh water than any other British lake at a volume of 7,450 cubic meters. If any lake could hold a mythical dinosaur like a monster, it's this one.
Yes, I've had a boat trip out on Loch Ness.
Yeah.
No, we went to Castle, whatever it's bloody called.
Oh, the ruined castle.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember what it's called now. That was the 1 week we spent in Scotland. We went specifically to do Ben Nevis. So as we wait for the weather to improve, it's like, okay, now we're here. What can we do? Well, let's go and take a boat trip out on Loch Ness. And we went there and said, oh, yeah, the next boat trip's out in 4 hours or something. I said, all right, let's continue up the road and let's go to Inverness, which is, at the end of Loch Ness. And it was like,
Okay.
right, so we've still got 3 hours to go.
Did you see it?
What? The Loch Ness monster? Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course I didn't, because it's not real. Spoiler alert.
He
you
might have been
sure?
asleep.
Yes.
How do you know? Might have been hiding at the bottom of the lake. You'd never know because it's very deep, as you said.
Yeah, he
Well,
might
it's
have
not going
been
to
on
hide
his
at the bottom
smoko
because,
break.
Why not?
well, because I'm pretty sure that whatever it's supposed to be isn't a fish, so
How
it
do you
doesn't
know?
have gills,
How do you
so
know?
it has
Have
to
you-
breathe
have you-
air.
Have you seen it? Have you measured it?
Well, of course, I haven't seen it because it's not real.
Have you measured it?
I haven't measured what isn't there. No.
Oh,
Come on, next you'll be asking me if I've got measurements of the flat Earth. Come on, stop being silly.
don't be
I think
daft.
I like.
It's not
I
flat.
think I like Grumpy Old Goat's method of finding Nessie. Depth charges.
Yeah, that'll work.
Oh yes, a full spread,
Hey,
both rear and side launchers.
you could just get a Nimrod come over and drop the one.
Nah, that's not as much fun though, is it?
What? Just dropping a bucket of instant sunshine in Loch Ness.
Oh, 1 megaton.
Oh no, you
1
don't.
megaton.
No, that's a bit overkill, that isn't it? There'll be no water left. He'll vaporise the bloody lot. Mind you, you'll take out half of Scotland. Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought so. They're not particularly
No, they're
big.
only little ones, aren't they?
They're only a few. I believe they're only a few kilotons.
Oh, whilst you're on that,
You
whilst you're on
probably
the
need a
do you
megaton.
know, can I just say happy birthday to a gentleman called Howard Phillips?
Who's he?
Howard Phillips Lovecraft.
Who's he?
H.P. Lovecraft.
You've never heard of
Author.
H.P. Lovecraft?
No, I can't say how. No.
Cthulhu.
Oh,
He was born this day in 1890.
oh.
No great loss.
Well, I don't suppose it'd be.
One of the
Celebrating
greatest
birthday.
horror writers we've ever known. I'm a big fan of his.
But he's a bit dead, though, isn't he?
He is now, yeah, because he died
Yeah.
in 1937. You know, he's only 46, bless him.
Well, it's not his birthday then, is he? He's dead.
Oh,
Yeah. I was going to say, man, he must be getting pretty long in the tooth about now.
he was quite long in the chin actually, but
And one more. Did you know professional cheesemakers are studying if music can change the taste of cheese?
oh,
Yeah.
that's one for Mr. Sensible.
Yes. Swiss cheesemaker Beat Vampfler. Can you imagine a cheesemaker called Beat Vampfler? Vampfler?
Yeah,
Could be. Anyway, he plays songs from bands like Led Zeppelin and
Ah.
A Tribe Called Quest. In good taste, got to say. During his cheese making process, and with the help of students from the University of Arts in Bern, he's studying to see if how music can change the flavour of his Emmental cheese. What do you reckon? Think would it taste different?
Well, I suppose if it's one of them cheese with all the bubbles in it, and you
Emmental,
played
yeah.
the music loud enough, you could probably affect the sizes of the bubbles, couldn't you?
Yeah, which introduces more bacteria by surface area, doesn't it? In
Elmix beat
theory,
me to it.
or less surface area.
Blessed are the cheesemakers.
So if he plays the Sex Pistols, does it make it taste like dick cheese?
Oh.
A can of cheese, Zebulon, that's disgusting.
Ew.
Eat real cheese, not that processed crap.
This is an important day in space travel. In 1975, they launched Viking 1 to Mars.
Oh, Viking, yeah.
And in 1977, they launched Voyager 2.
Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 are about 2 weeks apart, if I remember right.
Something like that, yeah.
Anything interesting happened tomorrow in history?
Why?
I was just wondering.
Hang on, I'll have a look. Okay. Events. That's anything. Not really.
Not really.
Second Battle of the Somme started in 1918.
Oh, I've got a good one here. I didn't know this. Did you know Neil Armstrong once threatened to sue his barber for selling his hair?
Huh.
Neil Armstrong tried to sue his barber. In 2005, Neil Armstrong threatened legal action to his former barber who had earned $3,000 for selling a lock of his astronaut's hair. The barber took no heed of the threat and went on to make over $38,000 in 2016 by selling both the hair and a barber's comb and scissors. The bastard.
Yeah.
Why couldn't I get it? Anyway, I'll save the rest for another time.
I was going to say, didn't they launch Voyager 2 before they launched Voyager 1?
Yes, they did. Yep,
Sure about that?
they did indeed. Well, I think Voyager 1 ended up going much faster and had gone out much further. I sort of overtook Voyager 2, as it were. Voyager 1, sorry. No, Voyager 2.
Yes, it was launched 16 days before Voyager 1.
16. Oh, it's close. Was it launched from the same launch pad, though, I wonder? Just be interested to know. Not that it really matters, but, you know.
Yes, I think they were.
And was it launched by an Atlas? Just a guess.
No, Titan 3E.
Old time.
Yes, but Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were on different trajectories.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of a unique alignment of the planets. Slingshotted. Random. Well, not all of them. You know what I mean.
Yeah, Voyager 1 reached Jupiter and Saturn sooner than 2 because of the trajectories. The Voyager 2 was on a longer, more circular trajectory. Yes, we'll remember when Captain Kirk found the Voyager probe, as it called itself, Voyager.
Voyager.
Got to the cinema to watch it when it first came out. Big disappointment.
Yeah.
Second one was much better.
Yeah.
Oh, talking about disappointments, like big disappointment. I saw Moonfall for the first time the other day.
I've stayed well clear of that.
Oh, God, what an absolute load of. It's not that it's conspiracy. It's just a bad film. It's just awful. It's just badly acted, badly produced, just bad everything, just bad.
Yeah,
terrible.
Don't know that I've heard of this movie.
No.
I've heard of it, and I looked it up and looked at some of the reviews, and I thought, yeah, I tell you what, we won't worry about that one.
No, don't bother. Only because I was bored, nothing else to do, as you know. So I thought I'd watch it. I watched about 45 minutes and just got bored and turned it off. I saw that for Game of Soldiers.
That's the problem.
What?
What Zed said. You got to watch it on LSD. Start that movie anyway.
I was a little bit young for that. Well, LSD.
So do you want a hard quiz or an easy quiz?
Easy quiz, of course.
What?
And a hard quiz. Well, how about something somewhere in between?
As it's bottle tops, how hard is it going to be?
I don't know. I may well find some of Paul's questions easier.
That's because you is smart and I isn't.
Yeah.
In it, bruv.
Yeah.
Bruv.
Not all of us have got an IQ. Would you like a question?
Go on then.
Okay. This one's really, 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 really hard.
Is it a Lindsay question?
No.
No.
What name is given to a kitchen on a ship?
Good grief.
What's the punchline? Go on.
Who's the punchline?
It sounds like it's going to be a punchline. I know what the real answer is, but I just get a feeling there's going to be a punchline.
Oh, Carl give us a different name.
A scow?
Name of a kitchen on a ship. Come on, I know what the answer is.
Yeah, Crumpy said the right answer, and Timbo and all that. But what Carl say, scow? Is
Well,
that to do with-
that's a type of dinghy. Sorry, dinghy. It's a flat bottom dinghy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, galley. Anyway,
Got me
a couple of people
confused
got
on
it
that
right,
one.
galley.
It's not that. We know it's not that.
Who did Tom Harley call a back pocket plumber?
Who?
I got no idea.
There
That's
is.
just a question.
I haven't a clue. Don't know who he is.
Yeah, who did Tom Haley call a back pocket plumber? Okay.
I don't know.
The
His
answer
mum?
myself
I
for
don't
that
know.
one.
His dad?
I got no idea.
What?
Kevin Sheedy.
Don't know who he is either.
That's right.
That was useful.
I got no idea for that one.
I don't know the person who was calling him. The other or the person who's been called
Yeah.
the name.
Exactly.
Who the hell are they?
Yeah.
That was useful. What?
Oh, okay. What do we got here? This one's different. What star sign is represented by a ram?
Oh, that's my star sign.
Yeah, I know that one.
It's the one before the bull.
You wait for a peanut to get one.
Yeah, yeah.
It's four-legged as well, just like a bull.
Yeah. Is Carl doing this on purpose?
I told you I'd have more chance with one of Paul's quizzes, didn't I?
No, Carl.
Hey, hello, Jose.
I'm Sagittarius, Carl, and it's not that one.
No, it's not Sagittarius.
It's not Pisces, Jose. Oh, Timbo did
Pieces,
the
yeah, I was gonna
question.
say pieces.
What?
He's put pieces.
Star sign represented by a ram.
Yeah, I thought so, Carl. He's doing it on purpose.
Oh, Timbo wants the question again? Nah, sorry. Moonfondle got it.
Well, I couldn't spell it, but he got it.
He
What,
got it.
airs?
Yeah, he got it. He got it. Aries, yeah.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, just answer Fleetwood Mac. Oh, see, I've got Australian questions in amongst these, so I don't know how you guys are going to go with some of these.
Well, you never know.
The Australian Opals compete in which sport?
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Is that motor racing or something? It's got to be ovals. Some sort.
I know they'd have a ball playing this.
What, cricket? Don't they call that an oval? I'm going to go with cricket. Click it.
Paul's on the ball. Kangaroo racing. Hockey. B-ball. What's B-ball? If you mean basketball, Armageddon, I may have to give it to Armageddon because he said B-ball. Because that could be baseball or basketball.
Or basketball. Could be either.
No,
So he's got it wrong.
B-ball's basketball.
Okay. Oh, that's correct.
Basketball.
Yeah.
An oval.
Basketball. Yeah, the opals. Yeah.
I
Never
thought you said ovals or opals.
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 Oh,
Do you want me to
opals.
I'm not allowed to spell the.
As in the precious gemstones that they like to go and dig up out in the middle of nowhere.
I thought you said ovals. That's what I'm
Encyclopedia, yeah.
listening to.
Yeah, that's one of the programs I'm still watching at the moment. Australian opal hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, mad buggers.
Yep. Vancouver is in which Canadian province?
You're blimey.
Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Western
Canada.
Canada.
Canada land.
I have.
Oh, I think I might have got one at last.
I have absolutely no idea.
Really?
I like
Alan's.
I like Alan's spelling.
Yeah, look, I'm dyslexic, and I haven't.
I didn't say anything wrong. I just said I like your spelling.
Sri Lanka.
Dyslexic. What? I'm dyslexic.
I'm dyslexic. Yeah.
Dyslexic.
Dick's what?
Hmm? No.
I don't know as well.
Oh, sorry, you can't laugh, can you?
We have multiple winners, beginning with Dora.
Oh.
Yeah, I was looking back there, Dora. I think Dora's.
Jose's gone for Johannesburg.
Oh, who's doing O'Reilly? Who is it?
That'd be Paul.
Yeah.
Carl Edwards, I feel dumber than when Paul does his quiz. Nice one. Oh dear.
Press play, Terry.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Nag, nag, nag.
Hag.
Buenos Aires is the capital of which country?
Do you mean
Argentina.
Buenos Aires?
Yeah, that's what I said. Shut up.
Close enough. Argentina.
South America.
It's the capital of South America, is it?
Yeah. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. There's a country obviously called South America, then obviously.
Well,
The
to
country
most,
is South America. It's a
to most
big blob of
Americans,
shit that
yes.
hangs down below Mexico.
yes.
No, it's Mexico.
Yeah.
That's
I
Mexico.
was in the wrong chat.
Mexico.
Ondale.
Yita.
So who said Argentina?
Whatever happened to Speedy Gonzales?
What are you doing out there, Paul?
I know, I realised I was in the wrong chat.
All I can say right now is Belgrano.
Oh, Carl, looks like Carl jumped in on that one.
Do you know that was American?
Huh?
Yeah, of course.
The
it was.
Belgrano was sold to the Argentinians by the Americans. It was a US cruiser.
In World War II.
Yep. And even the captain of the Belgrano said it made perfect sense to be torpedoed because his basic orders were to go out there and sink anything he could find that was British.
So it was nowhere near Rio Grande.
No, over Macho Grande. No, I'll never be over Macho Grande.
Yeah, just because he was zigging and zagging right on the edge of the
Exclusion zone. Yeah.
and they got him on a zig instead of a zag.
Zag. Yeah, because he was taken out by a World War II era torpedo as well.
Yes.
There's none of this modern rubbish. It was just, yeah, that'll do. Point in that direction. That will hit him, and it did.
Now we've had this question before, and because I drink Carlton Draft, you should know the answer.
All right.
Okay.
Go on in.
What? How big should the head of a How big should the head be on a perfect Carlton draft?
1 inch.
An inch? I wouldn't want. No,
No, well, you're
half
wrong
inch.
because you've got the wrong.
Yeah, but don't forget in Australia they got funny sized
No,
glasses.
we're in metric over here, so
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Funny shaped, funny sized glasses. That's
yeah,
what
but
I
it's
mean.
metric.
Oh,
You
what?
said you-
25.4 millimeters is his
So anyone
answer.
that says inches are wrong because we don't do inches over here.
Oh, for goodness sake! What's an inch in millimeters then? For crying out loud.
25.4.
Okay, 25.4 then. There you go.
No,
Millimeters.
yeah,
That is not inches.
it has to be in millimeters.
Because Matt, the inch is now actually defined as 25.4 millimeters.
Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
not whatever it used to be.
Yeah, I'm looking at the answers and no one's even
Other way
close
around now.
yet. 2 centimeters for a head on a beer. Geez, that's a pretty flat beer. 4 millimeters. Oh, 2 centimeters. Oh no, that's a big head. Okay. 4 millimeters would be a small head. Yeah.
Quite frankly, I'd be happy with any head at all.
Carl's going for 1 centimeter.
When I finished my tea there, farmers.
I'm glad to say I wasn't drinking orange juice at the time.
Okay, Carl's got the bottom end of the size of the head. No, there's no one got.
Is it sort of 12.5 mil? Is that half an inch?
What way is this show going? We're talking about the size of a head now. For crying out loud! What is going?
Yeah, beer.
Beer, Matt?
Australian
What are you
beer.
talking about, Matt?
Farmers just a moment ago. You said you'd be glad to get any head at all.
Yes. I haven't got any beer in the house. What else do you think I was on about?
Yeah.
What, am I on the shills or what?
I don't know where you are.
It's like, this must be the shills. It's like,
No,
It can't
what
be the
conversation
shills.
we normally have on.
It can't be the shills because it's not stupid o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's it.
That's true. Yeah,
That's the only time. That's the only reason I keep missing the shills because they don't start till at least bloody midnight.
that's true. It does.
So somebody said 1 centimeter, so that's the bottom end. And have we got anything?
Be able to measure something. You need to be able to measure something.
What?
It's Bev.
What's Bev doing here?
that's nice.
Who
nice, isn't
invited
it?
Bev?
Oh dear.
I'm looking for
Nice that, wasn't it, eh?
1.5 centimeters we got for a Carl. I think that'll be about the closest, 15 mil.
Oh, I'm sore now.
Yeah. 10 to 15 mil.
Yeah, about half an inch, give or take. Yeah, sounds about right. You wouldn't want any more than that because it's like, where's the rest of me pint, you bugger?
Yeah, that's it. You don't
It's
want
not
half
a pint.
glass.
You can't say pint. They don't do
Well,
pints.
Yeah, we don't do pints.
It's like
Okay,
the
where's the rest of my litre of beer?
A litre. Shit, that's a lot.
like them old Bodykins adverts, isn't it?
Oh. Do you want a flake with that?
Yeah. Oh, Rob's down with some more of that
Flake
chip fat.
anytime, bless her. Oh.
Okay, this is another Australian one. Shock horror.
That's true.
Yeah, shock horror. In what decade was the landmark Marbo case decided?
What decade did you say?
Yeah, what decade?
1980s.
Haven't a clue.
No, neither have I. Just guessing.
Carl said 80s. Nah, too early. Internal. No, too late, Jose. Wrong decade, Grumpy. No. Oh, I think we've got a wiener. Armageddon in the 90s.
Don't even know what that
What was
landmark
the
case was.
No, neither do I.
It's to do with land, something, wasn't it, Paul, for the Aborigines?
Yeah.
Ah,
I got old eyes, it's hard to read these. Which Grand Slam did Sam Stosur, Stousur, win?
Stozer.
Stosur?
Stozer.
In 2011.
Oza.
Stosur. Win in 2011.
no idea.
No. Internal. Yes out in the peanuts. Oh, yes for Alan. Yes for Carl. Carl got it right. Oh, sorry, Jose. Alan got it right inside. Which basketballer was nicknamed the Bambino? Oh, baseballer, sorry. Which baseballer was sorry, I was trying to read. My eyes are not that good here. Which baseballer was nicknamed the Bambino?
I'll bet you're still sat in
Hey,
the dark.
hey,
aren't
Paul, you make spelling mistakes too when you're reading yours out.
I do.
you? Yes.
I do.
Our eyes aren't getting any younger, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, if you actually turn the lights on, it helps, Terry.
I've got a light.
Yeah, have you turned it on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a wiener out there, and we've got a wiener in here.
Winner, chicken dinner.
And the wiener out there is Timbo, and blue in here. With Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Actually, Mark got it out there first.
Yeah.
Oh, did
Mark
he?
got it
Oh, did
first,
I
didn't
miss
he?
that
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
Oh, Mark did, yeah. Sorry, Mark. Okay, what strong plastic is often used in bulletproof vests? Is it classed as a plastic?
I believe so.
Sure is.
Okay. I thought it was like a carbon thing or something.
No.
Ah. Oh, Carl looks like Carl was out there first, and Alan. Oh no, who was first? Somebody in here was first. I seen the name pop up. Farmer. Oh, Farmer
Thank
was
you.
first in here. So I came pretty quick in the internal one, trying to catch up with it.
Well, you can't. Carbon fibre is basically a weave.
Yeah.
Whilst it's very strong structurally, what it can't withstand is impacts.
Mm.
So trying to use it to stop a bullet would be pretty pointless.
I've seen them try to use them for is that the same stuff? For a drive shaft for a car?
Well, why do you think F1 cars are so delicate and they try not to hit each other? Because whilst the carbon fibre is very, very strong,
Yeah.
it can't withstand things like impacts. It's very weak in that regard. That's why that's why they're supposed to not to try and hit each other.
Yeah. Well, it's because of the difference in the fibres, isn't it? The aramides in the Kevlar are much better at absorbing impacts.
Yeah.
But of course the aramide fibres are heavier than the
Yeah,
carbon ones.
that's which is why they're now starting to use gel fillings for bulletproof vests and things that harden on impact because they're lighter than Kevlar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can stop a 9mm military issue bullet with a thick wooden blanket.
Mm.
Just make sure that you only hang it from one end, though, so that it is swinging free.
However, boys and girls, don't try that at home. Don't do that. I wouldn't
Well,
test it.
that's why I said, because there have been instances where somebody held the damn thing top and bottom, and
Straight through.
yes, of course it goes
Yeah.
straight bloody through.
Yeah.
It's only because you use a thick blanket and you wet it as well, preferably, and then you just hang it by the top edge, and the bullet just kind of can't push its way through the weave and pushes the blanket up instead, and then dumps all its energy into it.
Yep.
The answer, Jose, is Kevlar.
Oh, I was right then. It's all right.
What's the answer? Which plastic?
Yeah.
Kevlar.
Okay. The Barmy Army are supporters of which cricket team? That's pretty easy, isn't it?
I think Australia, isn't it?
Oh, bugger, I topped it in the wrong one.
Well, farmers beat you to it, Alan.
And yes, Timbo, a rabbit will also stop a 22. Yeah.
Not always.
Well, it depends how close you are.
Yeah, I've seen through and throughs with it. I've seen through and throughs on a rabbit with a 22. I guess it depends if you're using subs or HVs.
Yeah.
That was England, is it? No, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. It's England cricket team support is a Barmy Army.
Yeah.
Okay. What does the Scoville scale measure?
Is it that one? There's so many scales.
Where are you?
Oh, I think it's that one.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it could be that one. Yeah.
Well, farmers put hardness.
But then everybody else has put hotness of
No.
peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did say the Scoville scale, didn't
That's
you?
because
Yeah.
it is the hotness of chili
Yeah.
peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who got the heat of chilies out there quickest? Dora.
Dora.
We don't want an AFL. That's too Australian sport.
To Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. You play football on a round pitch. Weird.
Oh, that is weird.
Well, it can be square,
Or an oval pitch.
or it could be rectangle.
Bloody
Oh,
oval.
I could have sworn that I've always seen it being played on not square pitches.
Well, that's because they're
AFL.
AFL grounds and they're usually an oval shape.
They're not by any chance using the cricket pitch during the winter, are they? I always got that feeling that,
Okay, which author created the character Jack Ryan?
I just stand Ginger Rogers.
Do you know what?
Hey,
I've just had a
fact-
total
hey,
brain
facty.
freeze. I've got every single Jack Ryan novel on the bookcase in my bedroom.
So
I
I
can't
beat
remember his
you to that,
fucking
farmers.
name.
Well, Alan,
So I
Alan
beat
beat you to it then, farmer.
I've had a complete brain freeze. Yes, yeah, that's him.
Yes,
God.
Dora, that's him.
Ranged target visually. One ping only.
Who was first out there? Timbo.
I've still not got over Without Remorse. That's just.
I,
Yeah, I think
my favourite.
Timbo was first out there, and Alan.
My favourite Tom Clancy is not actually a Jack Ryan story.
Red Storm Rising.
Red Storm Rising.
Yes, that is a brilliant book.
Operation Polar Glory.
Yep. Just what is a Reuben James?
Jose saying Clancy. Well, you meant Clancy, obviously. Clancy
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Tom Clancy.
that's it. The Angkor Wat Temple is in which country?
Oh God, I can't remember which one it is.
Oh,
There you go.
Somebody was quick out there. Alan. And Dora.
Yes, yeah, I knew it out there somewhere. Out that way.
Well, they're not that old in comparison with history, for the years they were there, and to what they look like now. Just how nature can take over something so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, jungles will do that for you, won't they?
Yeah.
My
Well, like
body is
over
a temple.
Yeah, same as over in the Amazon, the Incas.
Bits of South America.
Yeah. Who was the host of the TV show Man vs. Wild? I don't know if you've got that over there.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, not a very particularly popular show, but I've seen it.
But you did
I
get
can't
it.
remember who
Okay.
hosted. Yeah, yeah.
Do
I
we?
have no idea who hosted.
Never watched it.
Well, it was on Sky anyway.
That'd be why I never watched it then.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I haven't watched TV for about 4 years now, but it's going back a while.
No takers inside. Right out there, we had a Timbo. Timbo got it right out there. And Jose got it right. Have you
Bear
seen?
Grylls.
Yeah. Jose must have watched it one time. How many have we read so far? I've got no idea.
Don't know. I ain't been keeping count.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 13. Who was the front man of Silverchair?
Who?
Silverchair. I've heard of Silverchair.
No, I haven't. Gonna have to Google them now. Who the hell is Silverchair?
They're a group.
Well, I get
Music.
Pop group.
A popular beat combo.
Yeah, in Australia.
I've got to change me hearing things. I'll be back in a sec.
Right. Let's have a look at their discography. Will I've actually heard any of their songs? No.
I'm going to guess we're going to have to get a question for Zebulon that the answer is going to be my mum.
I don't even know the
Yeah.
answer to this one myself. No one
Jose,
no one's got it. Nobody.
just to let Jose know, if you make sure the stream is live, and also make sure you put the stream onto 2 times speed, and it should keep up with the
He's
should
getting the answers
keep up.
before he hears the questions. Ah.
Dave Cannabis got it.
Dave
Twice.
Cannabis got it? Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them. I don't recall any of their stuff. I'm not even sure they particularly made it over here.
Yeah. Well, I'm not into music that much either, so. Okay. Traditional mozzarella is made from what animal's milk? Really?
That's an easy. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Bugger.
Wrong, Paul. Right, farmer.
Yeah, and now I've had the brain fart.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yes.
I can't believe I couldn't remember Tom Bloody Clancy.
Dora said goat. No, not goat.
Not goats.
Not goats. Oh, you answered
But-
twice, Dora.
But buffalo, one of those few English words that can be used as many times as you like in a sentence, and it's the only word in the sentence, and it's a legal sentence.
Don't know why.
Oh, it's weird. Just because it has several different meanings,
Oh, yeah, one of them.
it's one of them. Because you just repeat the same spelling over and over and over again, but it's different meanings that make it a legal sentence. Because it can be a noun, a verb, and a whatever.
Do we take Dora's, even though she already guessed?
Yes,
Okay,
Tiny
Dora,
Captain.
okay,
that
Dora.
that word is also
I answered
quite
10.
used.
What? What do you mean, Carl?
No, Jose, not dick cheese. Ugh.
Wow, I didn't know that was that. Okay. Faroki Burlsara was better known by what name?
No.
Farouk Belsara was better known by
Farouk-
what name?
Farouk Balsara.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Well, you got it right then, Alan, obviously.
Yeah, even though how the hell did I get a letter T in that name?
Well, that's okay. I know what you mean.
Oh, it's not old matey boy, is it?
Yes, it's Matey Boy. I'm not allowed to just go into it because I was just gonna.
Yeah,
I was going to start singing his most famous song, but
No,
you know,
you're not allowed to.
Alan, don't.
Terry, mute me.
Yeah. Yeah, Dora got it first out there by the look of it.
Terry would probably kick me, actually.
Well, Farmer can do that for me.
Yeah, but you're not. We don't need to go to those steps.
No,
do
we don't. No, not to that extreme.
No.
Dora got that one right, and Alan.
Oh, yeah, Zebulon, my mum. There you go. At least that's the almost the first line of the song.
Yeah, nearly.
It's got to be Bohemian Rhapsody, hasn't it, Timbo? Number one twice in the UK.
Oh, it's got to be, hasn't it? Bo Rap's got to be their most famous song, surely.
Yeah, and and of course, if you want to promote it against the wishes of the record company, just slyly give a copy of it to a certain DJ with strict instructions not to play it on air.
Who does Mel Gibson play in Braveheart? Oh, Farmers is off the bat. Alan's off the bat.
A big girl's blouse in a skirt, which is quite clever because they hadn't been invented then.
I like Paul's answer, just abbreviated.
I think I spelt the surname incorrectly too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I got what you meant.
Yeah.
Looks like Dora may be out there by the look of it.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, good on you, Dora. I haven't seen that movie.
Really?
No.
Some of the fight scenes are quite good. But historically, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
mean, not just the small minor facts like the entire backstory to William Wallace himself and what happened, but they famously show the Battle of Stirling Bridge. I challenge anybody to spot the bridge.
Okay, the word lager. Oh shit!
Where's that
What's going? Alan. Nah. Was it Alan?
Hey, I don't know. There was some horrible feedback, wasn't there?
Yeah, it might have been mine for a second.
Okay, we'll try again. Take two. Take two. The word
Take two and see me in the morning.
The word lager originated in what language?
Oh, I don't know.
Nah, no, Alan. Oh, looks like we have a wiener already. Not Egypt, not French. Yes, Paul. Andorra.
Oh, it is. All right, fair enough.
We don't know who Yuri Gagarin did, do we? That's
Oh
too
no, I
easy.
ain't got a clue what he did. No.
That's too easy, that one. That's too easy,
Just a
that one.
bit.
Ozzie. Never heard of him. I don't know what you're talking about.
He was that dude that was always spaced out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally spaced out.
But he's going up in the world, that's for sure.
Ho ho!
Okay. You wouldn't know this one, Farmer.
Okay.
Casey Stoner is known for which sport?
Who's he then? Never heard of him.
Who
Trying
said
to remember whether
motocross?
racing to
No,
me.
not motocross, Paul.
Uh,
You're close. You're
Ah.
close. You're close.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just go generic. It makes it a hell of a lot easier. Was he Grand Prix or was he Superbikes? I can't remember.
I thought he was super.
I thought he was GP.
Okay.
Let me have a look.
Truth nerds, I only learned about Eugene Stoner.
Right. Well, he
I have to
won.
say, I did mishear it a bit and think Eugene Stoner myself to start with, but there
He
you go.
won the MotoGP World Championship in 2007 and 2011.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, Timbo got it. That might as well say to you. Out there.
Yeah,
And
MotoGP.
obviously Farmer got it here first.
They're in Austria. Well, to say tomorrow, then. There now. It's the Austrian GP this weekend.
Okay, we'll go for another couple of more minutes, going by the clock of the hour.
Yep. Cool.
In which part of the body are wish I could see better.
they carpals or tarsals?
Do you know, I was just about to ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metatarsal.
Which ones?
Metatarsal. It's the tarsal, but it's the meta one.
Yeah.
That was Alan. Alan was first in here. And looks like Carl. I think Carl got that one out there first.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we had to wait for you to get the second bit to know whether it was feet or hands.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this was an interesting one. Considering how old he is and what he's been doing over the years with these documentaries. In which decade was David Attenborough born? Yeah, okay. Nah,
Was that which
No.
decade or which century?
decade.
Ah, okay.
Which century? Nah, nah, nah. No. 40s? He's not that young. Somebody
Well, if it
said
ain't that one-
Dora said 1830.
Must be that one then. But I didn't think he was that old.
Hey, he's getting on a bit.
Oh, I know he is, but even so.
I didn't think it was. Yeah.
I think Armageddon Fire. No, Timbo Turtle and Farmer Boy eventually.
Well, 20s.
Yeah.
Christ, it must have been 28 or 29 then.
Yeah, I didn't think he was as old as my mother. Mum was born in 27.
Mm.
Oh, time's up. Last one.
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood.
42.
That would be good if I did have that question.
Well, that'd be good. Oh, it's Fleetwood Mac.
Okay. Last question. In which century was the French Revolution? I think we're getting the correct answer in here. Carl's giving us the year and Dora's giving us the century. So I did ask for the century, Carl.
Mm.
So it looks like Dora. No, I haven't. I've only got the 1700s here, Alan. So I can't tell you what year it was exactly. No, 1700s or the 18th century. Well, that's your bottle tap quiz for tonight.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Terry.
Now I can rest my eyes for a minute. I mean, I got the light because I've got to use a torch to actually see the words. Even if I had a normal light in here, I still wouldn't be able to read it.
Blimey.
Sounds like you need to get a new pair of reading glasses, Terry.
Ugh. I got a magnifying glass. That helped. I'll give you a minute while I just tidy up.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a Carry On film about that, wasn't there?
Carry On, Don't Lose Your Head.
That's all right.
One of the later ones, but I thought it was quite funny.
So the peasants are revolting. I know, I've seen them. God, I ain't watched them in ages. Don't think some of them have aged very well.
No, I still like Carry On Up the Khyber,
That is one of my favourites, I have to admit, yes.
and also Carry On Screaming.
Oh, that was the sort of the horror
Friday
one, wasn't it?
Tonight.
That's it, Friday Tonight.
Sorry, can't do a Kenneth Williams.
No. Oh, Carry On Cleopatra.
Oh yeah.
Sid James at his finest. It's a lot of the early ones that I struggle with. They're just not that funny. Yeah. I think it took them a fair while to get the formula right.
Yeah. Now, of course, everybody goes on about Carry On Camping, but I didn't think it was actually that strong.
No, it wasn't.
Apart from Babs.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hellfire.
Oh, that is a good Mandela effect one, Tim, though. Yes. Did Darth Vader say, Luke, I am your father?
No.
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 He did not.
He doesn't he just say, no, I am your father?
Yeah, words to that effect, yeah.
Because Luke says, oh, you killed my father. I must have a Star Wars a thon. Try and watch them all in the right order. I'm trying
terrible,
because
it's terrible watching them in their correct chronological order.
Yeah, because you have to start off with those prequels first, and they're not brilliant. But I've started. I think my Blu-ray player might need a clean. I started trying to do my Wolfgang Petersen has died. I'll watch the entire uncut version of Das Boat. Struggling to get through the first episode on the first bloody disc.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got a cleaning disc somewhere. I might have to waz that through it and see if it makes any difference. Because somebody had posted in a Facebook group about that, and they said, "Oh, Amazon's got the full version on there." And I had a look. I said, "No, it hasn't. That's the director's cut. It's only 150 minutes long." Well, what do you mean? That's not the full version. The full version's 308 minutes. It's a two disc Blu-ray. You can't fit it all on one disc.
I think I found it on my streaming site. I think that one, the proper one.
You won't have found the full length version because it isn't out there. Because it's not it's a made for TV film, but it's in 5 1-hour episodes.
And Tor said, you accidentally watched that booty.
There's no booty in that one, I tell you. And I do like it. It's still, the subtitles still don't quite match what they're saying some of the time because I know what they're actually saying. And yeah, it's supposed to be a full length uncut version. It's like, so why have you censored the subtitles then?
Maybe the person doing the translation was not the best person to have been doing it.
Maybe.
I can't write that. I'll just write something close.
Yeah, it could have been because there are 1 or 2 bits that are quite graphic, shall we say, especially in his description of what he wants to do when he gets back and hooks up with some of the young ladies who operate the telephones.
I've got 2 Simon Downs. How'd that happen? What's the other one?
Well, because he does 2 every week, doesn't he? He does
mini,
his usual thing.
That's the mini,
and he does the little mini things. And
he does 3 a week now because he does the little mini thing and the Friday and the Tuesday.
Oh, Tinfoil Tuesday. Did you do one this week? I can't remember.
Oh, I've got 2 here. I've got his short one and his long one. Anton's going to be tricky which one to pick out of these 3. I think 3. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Well, geez, I haven't got a lot to go by this week. Oh, that's enough. Hope you like me thumbnail, Peanuts. Got that. There we go. Are we ready?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
On rare occasions, we get to witness moments of sheer genius. This is not one of those moments. Warning, severe facial and monitor damage alert is in effect. Get out those oven mitts. Push the monitors back out of punching range. And let's light this dumpster fire and have some fun.
I was asked in the super chat to answer something about the speed of light and how it pertains to.
Okay.
Yeah, the one-way speed of light was never measured. No one ever measured the one-way speed of light. There is a thing called C within Einstein's relativity, and he also uses it within his famous E equals m over c squared.
E equals m over c squared. Are you sure about that?
Eli, you're off mute.
Sorry.
He also uses it in his famous equation E equals m over c squared.
No, I'm saying when they drop from an excited state to a less excited state, that's when they emit light. But when they go upwards, when they go from, for example, the ground state to an excited state, they don't emit, they absorb the energy.
It's the light from hydrogen have a specific wavelength?
Hold on, you got it backward.
Right.
When the atom gets excited, right, the electron changes position, it goes to a lower state, and then when it goes back
you got it
to the
upside
original
down.
form, that is when the light is emitted. Correct, Gummy?
You got it upside down.
No, you got it upside down.
The ground state is the minimum amount of energy. So if you want to excite it, you give it energy. If it wants to go from an excited to a lower state, it gives away energy. You've got it upside down. Ground state is the lowest amount.
You got it upside down. Unless I read something wrong. You got it upside down.
Something wrong. Yes.
And yes, you have. Read something wrong.
That's all,
folks.
Who was the sensible person there that knew what they were talking about?
Charky. I think it's Charky.
No, it's not. It's not Charky. It's yeah. No, not Charky.
Gummy Bear.
Gummy Bear. Yep.
Gummy Bear.
Yeah, he's not. He pops around every now and again. You see him for a few days, and then he disappears for a while, and then he comes back and things like that. It's on Gems a fair bit.
Didn't half sound like QE though, didn't he?
A little bit.
No, not really.
Got a bit of Dan, have we?
Yeah.
Dan, deeper in Dan.
Well, at least it's not Dan the Waterman. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, don't. Christ, I had enough of him yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Terry?
Yes, Matt.
Could you please press play?
Oh, I better unmute it first.
Yeah.
Does the hole in the ozone layer actually cause global warming? The ozone layer is a layer of gas called ozone in the Earth's stratosphere. Ozone is composed of 3 oxygen atoms and does a splendid job at absorbing harmful UV radiation from the sun. Since the 1980s, we have discovered a hole opening up in the layer of ozone above the continent of Antarctica. I say hole, but it's just a bad name for what is otherwise a depletion in the ozone in that certain area. And it has declined due to the high amounts of chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, pumped into the atmosphere from the 1950s onwards, which were used in aerosols and refrigeration. Of course, we have now realised this and stopped the production of these CFCs, and the hole is actually starting to repair itself. But does that hole in the ozone layer actually contribute to global warming? Well, no, it doesn't. For starters, the average temperature of Earth is continuing to rise despite the improvement in the ozone levels at the hole. And secondly, the ozone blocks the UV. That's its main job. It's a greenhouse gas, yes, but there's actually a cooling effect in the immediate area of the hole. This is because there is less ozone to keep the heat in, which is radiating back off the Earth's surface. Besides, the protective benefit of ozone far outweighs any greenhouse effect it may cause. So there we go. Yes, there is a hole in the ozone layer, and no, it does not contribute anywhere near as much to global warming as you may think. I've been Simon Dan, this has been another Misconception Mini, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I'm in the garden. Subscribe here. That's the subscribe button. More videos, more videos. Enjoy.
Yeah, all right then.
So is it repairing itself as fairly quickly or not? We don't know. I don't know
It's
about that.
well, it's taken quite a few years, but yes, it is slowly repairing itself. And we now generally use CO2 as a refrigerant. Mainly because there are other alternatives to CFCs, but some of them are also got, some nasty stuff in them, or potentially nasty. So you use CO2 because, of course, it doesn't really do anything if you accidentally discharge CO2 into the atmosphere. All we have to do is, when we have our kit in an internal plant room, is we have to have an extract fan right at the floor because, of course, CO2 is heavier than air. And if you have a major leak, it all slumps to the bottom, and if somebody walks in there without knowing about it, it can, well, it could kill you.
Yeah, you don't want customers dropping dead.
Well, this is all back of house where customers don't go, but you have a detector and an extract fan, so that if there is a major leak, it detects the increase in CO2 and the fan kicks in. That's the only downside with it if it springs a leak.
Major leak, when did he serve?
He was under general disaster.
Oh.
I think he's on the same front as Major Cockup.
Oh. Well, Anton's got strange upside down lightning phenomenon.
Ooh.
Evidence shows huge impacts created to continents Earth.
Not sure about that one. Sounds a bit dodgy.
Or most massive star ever found, R136A1, reveals important
Oh, that's a catchy name.
Sounds interesting, that one. Most
You
massive
like
star
that?
ever
Well,
found.
yeah, that's what I thought. You'd like that one too. I thought you would like that one.
Terry,
Yes, sir, Matt.
press play, please.
Okay, I can do that for you.
Videos usually were about some unusual, mysterious, or really extreme objects somewhere out there in the universe. And there's this one object I've really been meaning to come back to and talk about in the last few years. The most massive and the brightest star ever discovered anywhere in the universe. The star that we usually refer to as R136A1, located in a nearby Large Magellanic Cloud inside what's known as the Tarantula Nebula. And mostly because there have been several papers released in the last few months that essentially use some of the most modern and most detailed observations of this particular region in order to investigate this particular star and a lot of other extreme stars in its vicinity. In the process, creating this, the most accurate and the most high-resolution image of this iconic star and its neighbors. And it's actually important to understand that, as you can see from this image, it does have quite a lot of massive neighbors as well. As a matter of fact, this is just one of many extremely massive objects in the vicinity, with this image from the Hubble telescope of this region known as R136 sort of showing us a tremendous amount of very powerful, very bright, and very young stars. With the R in R136 being the name of the observatory that originally discovered this particular region, the Radcliffe Observatory. But until the Hubble telescope became operational in the 80s, it was actually completely unknown what this region represented, because this was initially an unresolved stellar object. It was even believed to be some kind of a really massive star, potentially 3,000 masses of the Sun. But some of the earlier images from the Hubble Space Telescope allowed the scientists to resolve at least 12 different components inside of this region, eventually leading to the discovery of at least 200 separate, very bright stars. And I guess if you were to approach this region, it would most likely look something similar to what you see right here. A tremendous amount, here we're talking about hundreds and actually even thousands of bright objects within a relatively small volume of space. As a matter of fact, within about 10 light years, there are over 3,000 different stars, and a lot of them are really massive. with this entire cluster being approximately 450,000 solar masses, equivalent to a typical globular cluster, which is what the scientists believe it might become in the future. But more intriguingly, the very powerful, very massive stars inside of this cluster are actually what gives the Tarantula Nebula its incredible shape and incredible color. As a matter of fact, the only reason this nebula even exists is because of these very bright stars. Their ridiculous luminosity and their power illuminates all of the gas in the region, creating this beautiful formation. And by definition, this is what's known as a starburst region. There are quite a lot of really massive, really bright, and very young stars, with approximately 200 times more stars located in this region compared to the rest of the galaxy, with this tiny volume containing thousands of times more star matter than anywhere else in the galaxy. So, in some sense, this is actually kind of unusual, but unusual for our sort of neighborhood. These particular starburst regions have been discovered in other galaxies out there, and specifically in galaxies usually referred to as starburst galaxies. For example, a lot of these exist in the antenna galaxies you see right here that are currently creating these starburst regions because of the collision of galaxies. But intriguingly, this particular region is kind of difficult to explain. It might have formed because of the interaction of the Large Magellanic Cloud with Small Magellanic Cloud, or potentially with the Milky Way galaxy, but it's really not certain how it was created and why. It was created not so long ago though, approximately 2 million years ago. And the reason the scientists believe this is relatively young is because there are not a lot of signs of supernova. As a matter of fact, they've only discovered one runaway star that you see right here that most likely escaped because of the gravitational interaction, not necessarily a supernova explosion. A typical supernova region usually contains more signs of various explosions and a lot more gas. This region also does not contain any red supergiants, or actually a lot of other types of unusual stars, and for the most part simply contains very hot O-class stars that are believed to have been recently created. But the central region here is dominated by several major stars, A1, A2 and A3 being some of the most massive ones. Pretty much all of the stars here are at least 1,000,000 times brighter than our own Sun, with the one known as A1 being the brightest of them all, approximately 4.7 million times the brightness. And the star that you see right here has always been believed to be the most massive ever. Initial estimates suggested that it's maybe about 320 masses of the Sun or even more. But the recent calculations suggest that its mass is actually lower, and this is the most accurate observations we have so far, yet it still is the most massive star ever found. The most accurate calculation suggests that it's about 196 solar masses and has a temperature of about 46,000 Kelvin. It's also a type of a star known as Wolf-Rayet that we recently discussed in one of the previous videos, right there or in the description below, which means that it's emitting a huge amount of energy. As a matter of fact, it's emitting so much light that it's ionizing everything around it, creating very powerful emissions of light that are usually not visible around other stars. And actually, the photosphere of the star is so hot that it's accelerating the material away from the star, increasing its velocity to over 2,500 km per second, causing the star to have tremendous stellar winds, but also losing a lot of mass in the process. It loses about 1 billion times more material than our own Sun, and it's very likely that it already lost about 35 solar masses in the last 2 million years. But because the star is kind of far away from us, 157,000 light years away, you would not really be able to see it very easily, even with a relatively powerful telescope. You might be able to see the R136 cluster, but just not this specific star. And that's why it took Hubble to resolve all of this and to discover all of these properties. Nevertheless, it is an extremely bright star. Just to give you a comparison, if this star was just around the same distance away from us as the nearby Proxima Centauri, which is just over 4 light years away from us, this here would actually have the total brightness of full moon. It would be the second brightest object in the night skies. But if it went supernova near us, then it would most likely cause tremendous damage on the planet too. And that's of course what the scientists believe is going to happen to it at some point. It's going to shrink enough to essentially become really unstable, but because of its tremendous mass and because of its really high temperature, on the inside is going to start experiencing some really unusual effects, where the gamma rays inside the star are actually going to start producing various particle-antiparticle pairs. In other words, the energy inside the star is going to start turning back into mass, and because of this it's going to destabilize the core eventually leading to what the scientists refer to as pure instability supernova. You can learn more about this concept in one of the videos in the description. Although the actual future of the star is currently unknown, simply because we don't actually have any other examples to compare this to. This is such a unique object that it's just impossible to predict both its history and of course its future. All of the modern predictions are just based on the understanding from the physics of other stars. But I guess what's really intriguing is of course the fact that there are so many other really massive, really bright stars in its vicinity. For example, its nearby partner A2 is around 5,000 astronomical units away from A1. In other words, they are technically inside each other's star systems. But there are other objects nearby that are even hotter and contain almost as much mass as well. So as you can see from this table, there are quite a lot of these really massive, very bright stars in the vicinity, with A1 being just a little bit more bright and a little bit hotter. But I guess more intriguingly, the most recent investigation discovered yet another partner much closer, something that was previously invisible in the images produced by Hubble. The most recent observations discovered that there's a much dimmer partner very close to A1 that seems to be some kind of an O-type star about 2,000 astronomical units away from A1. This would be a much dimmer and a much smaller star, but still much brighter than our own Sun, with several other objects discovered in the vicinity as well, and several other stars that were previously invisible. And once again, many of them very powerful O-type stars, but obviously appearing much dimmer because of the distances, and also because there are just so many bright stars that tend to outshine everything else. And actually some of the previous estimates for its mass might have gotten the mass wrong because of that other star. From this distance, the R136A1 might have just appeared as one single object, but in reality it was two. And so if you were to subtract the other star from its total brightness, it might appear a little bit less bright, although nevertheless still the brightest object out there and still the most massive. 196 solar masses, 4.7 million luminosity of our Sun. And naturally, because I'm using Space Engine, I kind of wanted to see what all of this would look like from a random planet located in this region. What would the night skies be like if you were to stand on some random planet here and see all of these stars in their glory? Well, actually, depending on the distance to some of the brighter stars, it might be completely overwhelming. But from a slightly farther away distance, it looks like this. It appears as hundreds and hundreds of different bright stars in the night skies, with the total luminosity here very likely making the nights on this planet much brighter than the nights on planet Earth. But obviously, these planets very likely don't exist, mostly because these are very young stars. And if they do exist, they will not exist for very long, mostly because these stars are going to all go supernova at some point, and if one happens relatively close to this planet, it might completely destroy everything on the surface and the planet itself as well. Nevertheless, it looks pretty cool. But I guess on that note, that's kind of all I wanted to mention for now. There have been quite a lot of studies of this region, but I think until future observations with the James Webb Telescope, we're not going to learn much more. Hubble telescope has officially reached its limit, and so any new discoveries are going to be coming from new telescopes. And so until we discover something else, that's all I wanted to mention. Check out all of the relevant links in the description below, subscribe, maybe share this video with someone who loves learning about space and sciences, come back tomorrow to learn something else, and maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining a channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description, which now also features James Webb Telescope. Stay wonderful, I'll see you tomorrow, and as always, bye-bye.
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 With this new James Webb looking out into the deep field, it's a wonder will we see a supernova or anything similar to that actually happen while it's in service or not.
Who knows, you never know.
Yeah, could do.
Because it'll show how often that can happen in the universe of the stars doing that. That it mustn't happen very often.
I don't know. See if we can find out.
Morning, Anamorphic. Who else was late? I seen somebody else turn up late. Astro Rex. Well, no debunking videos tonight, so we'll just have to finish off with Simon. This flat earther can't get anything right. Well, that's typical.
Well, I haven't found anything about the universe. It just say about the Milky Way galaxy. It says although supernova are relatively rare events occurring on average once every 60 years in the Milky Way, observations of distant galaxies allowed supernova to be discovered and examined more frequently.
Mm.
Another one is there are probably about 1,000 supernovas every second in the universe. But that's how true that is.
Yeah, well, we'd start seeing them through the James Webb by now, wouldn't we, if they were that often?
Well, but it's a big sky to look at. You've got to be pointing in the right direction at the right time.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a big universe, and the other thing you got to remember is the further away you look, the further back in time you're looking.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and were supernovas more common back then or less common back then?
I don't know.
Well, the star had to have a chance to develop before it could turn into that, wouldn't it? It'd take time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it usually starts with a dimming, doesn't it? They dim for a while before it collapses on itself. That's why they thought Betelgeuse was about to go into supernova, but well, they think it still might, but not anytime soon.
And how much time does it take for it to do that too?
Don't know.
Yeah, nitpicking. 1,000 supernovas per second. That should probably be in the observable universe. And Clive said big stars have a very short life. Okay. Yeah, well, our stars are a lot bigger than our sun, that's for sure. What, the bigger they are, the harder they fall? Ready for Simon to finish off with?
Yeah, why not?
I was waiting for Matt, but he's too slow.
Wait for Matt what?
His flat Earth map.
Press play.
Well, I can't see it.
Oh, but that wouldn't help.
That's true.
That would help. Sorry, Matt.
You're all right.
I'll fire myself. There we go.
Terry.
Yes, Matt.
Press play, please.
Okay.
Now, this right here is South America. So let's zoom in here where you guys can see this. Now, here's the route. There's Cape Horn, where they leave from.
Oh, that one.
And as you can see right down below that, you have the South Shetland Island.
And recently he's made a mini documentary, if you will, called You Just Can't Go There. And of course, it's about Antarctica. So what do? Debunk the hell out of it, of course. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a huge thanks to the sponsors of today's video, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on historic Scottish customs where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. They allow... Right, back to today's video where we're looking at flat earther Terry R. Iker and his Flat Earth documentary about Antarctica. Get ready, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to answer this question really quick because I keep getting it from several of my friends. But the first guy that asked me this was a friend of mine on Facebook, Jeff. He asked a question. If the ice wall circles our entire flat plain, how can the elites possibly monitor every mile of the perimeter to keep anyone from getting access?
An excellent question, Jeff. How indeed?
Well, Jeff, and everybody else who's asking, that's really simple. I'm going to explain it to you guys really quick, okay? Check this out. Now, what you have to understand is this is a Royal Navy ice patrol ship. It's also an icebreaker. It can get through places no other ship can go, and even if it tried, it would be crushed into a million pieces.
That is the HMS Protector. It is indeed the only Royal Navy icebreaker in service. There is a research vessel owned by the UK too called the RSS Sir David Attenborough, but this vessel is not owned by the Royal Navy. There are of course countless other icebreaker ships in active service owned by countries around the world. The US has several, but none of them are Navy operated. They're all operated by the US Coast Guard. So technically there is only one Royal Navy icebreaker vessel.
Okay, this ship is designed to cut through the ice and come and find you. Now, the only way that this Royal Navy ship is going to come looking for you in the ice is if you make it past the 70th parallel.
Right, so this one ship covers the entire flat Earth Antarctic coastline. Not possible.
And at the 70th parallel, you will be turned around by just your average Navy destroyer, whether it's China, America, Russia, whatever country you are close to when you get to that 70th parallel.
China. Oh, I see. Up to the 70th parallel, the Navy ships of the world will turn you round, will they? Well, if you're by yourself on a small vessel in the middle of the Southern Ocean, then I'm not surprised. The Southern Ocean is one of the most dangerous places to sail in the world.
That country's Navy is going to send a cruiser or a destroyer out to turn you around. They are the first line of defense. The final line of defense is this Royal Navy ship right here.
Right, so the entire Navy of the world is the first line of defense, and then the second line of defense is one ship. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me help you understand that. On a so-called globe, this right here would be the 70th parallel south.
No, this would be the 70th parallel south. As you can see, you've highlighted closer to the 60th degree south.
And this is where the average Navy battleship will turn you around and tell you that you are in maritime waters.
Maritime waters? So just waters then. And how do you suppose a naval destroyer turns you round on the 70th parallel south if you're actually on the continent of Antarctica, which would be the case just on the right of the continent from this picture here?
Okay, now that you understand that, on a so-called globe, this right here would be the 80th parallel south, which is basically the whole coast of what you have been taught and know as the Antarctica.
No, this is the 80th parallel south. As you can see, no part of this circle is in water.
And this is where the Royal Navy icebreaker ship will track you down.
And with the 80th parallel south being entirely on land, of course the HMS Protector cannot go there. It breaks sea ice, not huge glacial miles deep ice on land.
Now let's have a look at the 80th parallel on a flat Earth map.
Look how far Jose's behind on the stream.
Huh. Imagine that. The Antarctica turns into an ice wall.
Well, yes, but that means the 80th parallel south is still entirely land.
And look at that. The 80th parallel is the perimeter of the ice wall.
As we have just seen, that is incorrect.
So, like I was saying, this Royal Navy icebreaker ship is designed to cut through this ice and come find you. You also have buoys on the ocean that have been there for a long time. I think maybe even all the way back to maybe World War II. But anyways, check this out.
That doesn't look like World War II kit, if I'm being completely honest.
Even if you can go under the radar of the Navy, they have these buoys that set off signals that will notify the Navy of your exact location. Now, 10 chances out of 10 are that you're not going to pass just the average Navy battleship If you do, of course, then you have this Royal Navy icebreaker
battleship?
ship.
He keeps stressing the word royal, doesn't he? Like it means better. It's just the UK Navy, mate. That's all.
Waiting on you. That's his job. That's what he does. Here is a Google diagram of how it works, but you got to cut out the satellite because those aren't real.
So how does it work then, without the satellite?
It's just simple towers. The buoys are like towers on the ocean.
Forget about that bit. Don't worry about that.
So they send a signal to each one.
Ah, okay, of course. How silly
Move
of
along,
me.
move along.
Now, I cannot show you what will happen if you do so happen to make it to the 80th parallel south. And that's because no one's ever made it there.
Well, they have. There are 70 permanent research stations on the continent of Antarctica, all nestled between the 60th and 80th parallels south, and one which is pretty much bang on the South Pole.
But I can show you what will happen if you make it to the 70th parallel south. And that is nowhere even near the ice wall. But take a look and see what happens when you get to the 70th parallel south.
It's a Navy destroyer.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh, that one again.
Oh no,
That was just,
no.
wasn't that just off the coast of Australia? Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Like
between
about 10 miles out or something.
Australian mainland and Tasmania.
Yeah.
He will yield.
I like a little boat is like that is going to get that far.
Okay, now we've seen this before. Let's get to the interesting bit.
Now they are a bit close to that naval ship.
Because the naval ship wouldn't be close to him.
If I seen that in my distance, I wouldn't go anywhere near it.
Now, in the clip I've seen of this before, the gentleman involved actually revealed their location, and this being the Bass Strait.
Yeah.
Now, that's an area of water between Australia and Tasmania, a mere 39 to 41 degrees south, nowhere near the 70 degrees south which you are claiming. You really think a bunch of Aussie fishermen would be over 1,800 miles away from the mainland? Dear, oh dear.
Now that you understand that, let's just say you can get past that bad boy. If you do, then you have about 5 or 6 foot of ice that's frozen on top of the ocean water that you have to break through.
Why would you try and do that in a small fishing vessel?
So let's say if you can get past all the ice on the ocean and make it to the wall, then you have to find a way to get up the 200-foot wall. Okay? Now let's say you can get past all that. Then what you have is an ice desert that just goes on and on forever, filled with mountainy terrain and temperatures that are 150 degrees below zero.
Being an American, I'm assuming that Terry is working in Fahrenheit here, which translates to about minus 101 degrees Celsius. The record low temperature on Earth, which is obviously in Antarctica, is minus 89 degrees Celsius, and the average temperature in Antarctica is only about minus 57 degrees Celsius. So as usual, Terry, you are chatting poo. Wow, what an episode that was. We really did strip that all back and expose it for the rubbish that it is, didn't we? I do love looking at Terry's stuff. Definitely will be looking at it again because he clearly has no clue what he's talking about and he has an audience. Right, we are all done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Thank you so much for watching. It truly is appreciated. Please do like and subscribe. Hit that like button as well. We're really, really close to 450,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. Only 50,000 to go to the 500,000. I know it's going to take a while to get there, but we will. Just enough time to once again thank Kamakoto for sponsoring today. Remember, click the link in the description or go to kamakoto.com/SciManDan to get an extra $50 off on top of the offers they already have on using the code SciManDan. I've been SciManDan. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another Misconception Mini. See you then.
Yeah, I'll just pull that temperature figure out of my arse, and that sounds good. I'll just say that one.
Yeah, that sounds good. And the
Sounds nice.
and the 70th parallel. Geez, what map was he using?
Mm.
Oh, looks like we're going to be a bit. Yeah, we've been going long enough for tonight. I haven't really got anything else for you.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with being slightly earlier than usual.
Yeah. I might be able to
Well,
get
we're
some
going
sleep.
nearly 3 hours, almost.
Yeah, I might be able to get some sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep, what's that then? What's that
Well,
do?
Paul needs his sleep. He's got those ducks to look after.
I do.
I haven't had much of that stuff called sleep recently. I don't know what it is.
I thought you were going to say you have no much to do with ducks.
Well, that as well. I haven't got any ducks.
You haven't got any ducks?
No ducks.
Ah.
Don't think the landlord will appreciate it.
You got any ducks, Farmer?
No.
He wasn't too happy about 2 cats, let alone ducks. So I can't know. The landlord won't be happy.
We've got a chicken farm with lots of chickens near us, but the only type of bird my grandson recognises is a duck. So yes, it's a chicken farm full of ducks, according to Harry.
Close enough.
Yeah, that's right, Doro. I did start to watch that.
One of my first words from my daughter when she was a baby was she couldn't quite say duck. It was guck. So every animal she saw from then on in was guck.
Oh, guck. A guck?
Good job it was guck.
Yeah.
Yeah, not something else.
Yeah. What's that?
Well, it's the old one as well. When she started learning the word fork, it was
yeah.
You have to kind of best to try and ignore it.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's fork.
Gork, what'd she say,
Yeah.
Gork?
No, she said another word. It sounded like the word we're not.
Oh, that sounded like duck.
Yeah, it sounded a bit like duck, but with an F at the beginning of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch Clive's video he dropped. It's over in Discord. About gyro compasses. It's got lots of numbers and
big
symbols
scary numbers
and symbols.
Yeah, lots of mathematics.
Lots.
Oh, I don't know about that then.
Doris said it sounded like 4. Is that the F word we're not allowed to say here?
Oh, she said it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now the 4 is
said it.
F-O-U-R. Clive's going, any new gyro compass videos released lately? Yes, Clive, there is happened to be one.
Funny you should mention that.
I think we should have a watch.
How long is it?
How long is it? Where is it? There it is.
You haven't promoted your flat Earth proof video much recently, Terry.
No, I haven't checked it. Like I did take a screen grab out of it for last episode. I used
Did you? Was it a good screen grab? Was it?
Yeah, for me thumbnail. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a bright, attractive thumbnail.
Yeah, Clive said it's 17:54. No, not 55. 54, Clive.
As long as it's not 27:13.
Yeah, got to avoid 27:13.
Yeah, I'll let you play it. I'll let it play for a snippet of it.
The gyro compass.
You can hear him. Speak up, Clive.
Gyro compass is a device often used on ships and submarines to detect the true location of north. It comprises a rotating disk or more general shape, spinning with an angular velocity omega, which is very large. Compass is confined to a horizontal plane, and over time the axis will align itself with true north when the ship is not moving, and it will align itself at a predictable angle to true north if the ship is in motion. First, let's draw the Earth, and we'll introduce a vector.
Clive said I can speed it up a bit.
Pole, and we'll call this vector A, being a unit vector. Let theta be the co-latitude.
That Lindsay speed.
Basis, we'll have unit vector EZ radially outwards.
Jose said, did I play
horizontal plane towards
Gary
north, and there will be a vector
Gary's video from Jose's channel?
This means that the set E east.
I didn't even know what
is an orthonormal.
Was it a separate video, Jose, or what?
Suppose the ship has angular velocity.
It might be his Angles elastic band video.
So in other words, it's rotating.
Oh, we've already seen that in the past.
Direction, and
yeah,
theta
I think we have.
would be that's your easterly direction. That's theta. So theta dot corresponds to southerly motion. From this, we can compute the velocity of the ship. V is omega v cross r times Ez, where r is the radius of the Earth. So that gives me theta dot E east plus phi dot times A cross R E Z. Now A is equal to sine theta times E north plus cos theta times Ez. We can see that from a diagram like this. That angle is theta, so that's the component in the northerly direction, and that's the component.
Yeah, put it over in Discord.
So that's theta dot E east plus phi dot times sine theta E north plus cos theta Ez crossed with R times Ez. As that term goes, and that gives me R theta dot E east cross Ez plus phi dot sine theta E north cross Ez multiplied by R. And east cross Z is minus R theta dot E north.
Timbo wants us to play one of their videos.
Z is east.
Not they're good,
So
not that they're good, but I'd like more views.
More views.
It's
fair enough.
I can also write as minus V north over R times E east plus V east over R sine theta times A, and that's coming straight from this expression.
Are you following so far with Clive's math?
True north. So write the axis of the gyrocompass as N. So the gyrocompass is spinning about this axis. So N is cos alpha times E north, because that's the E north direction, and that's the east direction, so you have plus sine alpha E east. So the angular velocity of the compass is going to be omega, capital omega, which is scalar omega times N, where omega is a lot larger than little omega, where little omega is 2 pi radians per day, the angular velocity of the Earth. So in vector form, omega for the Earth is scalar omega times vector A, again, A corresponding to the direction straight up through the North Pole. Let M be minus sine alpha E n plus cos alpha E east. So this is orthogonal to n, and also it's orthogonal to Ez, and m squared is 1, so it's of unit length. So A, if you remember, was sine theta E north plus cos theta Ez is equal to sine theta cos alpha n minus sine theta sine alpha m plus cos theta Ez, where we have used that E north is cos alpha n minus sine alpha m, and E east is sine alpha n plus cos alpha n. Now alpha is free to vary, so there is an angular velocity alpha dot Ez accounting for this motion. To summarise, there are 4 motions corresponding to the angular velocities omega v, corresponding to the direction of motion of the ship. Omega, which was omega a, was the rotation of the Earth. Omega being scalar omega n, corresponding to the driven rotation of the gyrocompass, and alpha dot Ez corresponding to the rotation of the gyrocompass around its vertical axis. These two have rotations about the centre of the Earth. The last 2 are rotations about the centre of mass of the compass. Now let's work out the velocity of a general point in the compass. There are 4 contributions. V1 is omega n cross x, where x is the location of the point measured relative to its centre of mass. In other words, the integral of x times rho d3x is 0. V2 is V1 plus alpha dot Ez cross x. That corresponds to the rotation in the horizontal plane of the compass.
I'll explain to you later, Jose.
Omega a crossed with x plus Rez. This corresponds to the rotation of the Earth about an axis through the centre of the Earth. And V4, which is actually x dot now, is V3 plus omega v cross x plus Rez. So putting that all together, we have that x dot is omega total cross x plus omega a plus omega v cross Rez, where omega total is alpha dot Ez plus omega n plus omega a plus omega v, and that's alpha dot Ez plus omega n plus omega primed a minus Vn over Rez, where omega primed is omega plus Ve over R sine theta. So that's equal to n times omega minus Vn over R sine alpha plus omega primed sine theta cos alpha minus m times omega primed sine theta sine alpha plus Vn over R times cos alpha plus Ez times alpha dot plus omega primed times cos theta. Now work out the kinetic energy of the gyro compass. T is a half the integral of rho x dot squared d3
Blimey.
x. It's a half the integral of rho times omega total
I
plus
couldn't.
x plus
I
omega
can't
A
work out
plus
how there's
omega
so
v
much math
plus
for
r
something
z
like this.
squared d3x. That's a half the integral rho omega total plus x squared d3x. We get a cross term, and this final term here. This term vanishes because the integral of rho x d3x.
Well, you're not having to write all this out to work something out when you're out in the ocean with your gyro compass, I hope.
It's a half m omega A plus omega v cross r e z all squared. And this term is independent of alpha.
Yeah, if it adds up to 42, Turtle,
we'll call T rot.
we know we're right.
Well, we compute this by taking the expression we have here, multiplying coefficient of n squared by c, and then multiplying by a the sum of the squares of the other two components. So that gives us a half c into omega minus vn over r sine alpha plus omega prime sine theta cos alpha all squared, plus a half a times alpha dot plus omega cos theta all squared, plus omega primes sine theta sine alpha plus vn over r times cos alpha all squared. From the kinetic energy, we construct a Lagrangian. L will just be T, there is no potential energy term. So that's T rot plus half m r squared omega A plus omega v.
Wow, this is not even halfway through.
Let's consider the special case when the ship is not moving, so v equals 0. In which case omega prime is the same thing as omega, the rate of rotation of the Earth. And then we can have a new Lagrangian, just dropping terms from the original Lagrangian, which are constant. So we have L prime as a half a alpha dot squared. There's a half a omega squared sine squared theta sine squared alpha. I've used a trig identity there. Plus a half c into omega plus little omega sine theta cos alpha all squared. And then we have the total derivative of a alpha omega cos theta, which corresponds to the cross term when I expand that term there. I've also dropped this term because it doesn't depend on alpha and alpha dot, so it doesn't make any difference to the equations of motion. We've also dropped a term which is a half omega squared cos squared theta, again because it doesn't depend on alpha or alpha dot. So now we can drop the term which was the
hope everyone's following.
Half a alpha dot squared minus v of alpha.
What?
So v of alpha is an effective minus a half a omega squared sine squared theta sine squared alpha minus a half c omega.
Oh, Paul should be following.
Alpha squared.
I am.
You can expand the squared term minus c omega times little omega sine theta cos alpha. That's the cross term.
Is his math all right so far?
Minus a half c minus a omega squared sine squared theta.
No, he's got it all wrong. He's got it completely wrong.
Minus a half.
I'll prove it all in a minute.
Sine squared theta,
Okay.
Minus a half c omega squared. We converted the sine squared into.
What did he make a mistake somewhere back in the math somewhere?
Constant. So if we want
Oh yeah, he's made loads of mistakes here. Clearly.
In other words, with polar rotation, then v alpha is constant, and therefore alpha dot is constant. So there is no minimum of the potential, and the gyro compass fails to work at the north and south poles. If sine theta is not 0, then have a look at equilibrium points. They correspond to v prime alpha equal to 0. Well, that's equal to omega sine theta sine alpha times c omega plus c minus a omega sine theta cos alpha. We will spin the gyro up fast enough so that c omega is a lot greater than c minus a magnitude times omega. And therefore this factor is not 0. Therefore we get a maximum or minimum only at alpha equals 0 to pi. So imagine omega being very large, greater than 0. Then you can see the potential is approximately, v alpha is approximately minus c omega omega sine theta cos alpha. If we just plot that, we'll end up with a cosine curve here, and you can see we have a minimum potential at alpha equals 0. And that's a stable equilibrium. So the gyro compass will oscillate backwards and forwards about its equilibrium. And if we were to introduce some damping into the system, it will line itself at a value of alpha equals 0. In other words, the gyro compass will point in the northward direction. Now, what if the ship is moving? So what if v is not 0? In which case, the Lagrangian is going to be a half a times alpha dot plus order omega prime terms, all squared, plus a half c omega minus vn over r sine alpha plus omega prime sine theta cos alpha, all squared, plus order omega prime terms again. Now we're going to be spinning this up very fast, so actually this is the most important term, this capital omega. Lagrange's equation of d by dt dl by d alpha dot is dl by d alpha. So we're going to get a alpha double dot plus order omega prime terms is equal to c omega minus vn over r sine alpha plus omega prime sine theta cos alpha times minus vn over r cos alpha minus omega prime sine theta sine alpha. And we're interested in solutions where alpha double dot is 0. We know that this term here is approximately omega. So this is very large, so therefore this thing must be very small. So we need to take tan alpha to be equal to minus vn over r omega primed sine theta plus an error term omega primed over capital omega. And we can make this term as small as we like if we spin the gyro compass up to large enough speeds. So in other words, alpha is inverse tan vn over r omega sine theta plus ve. That's substituting the value for omega primed, if you remember. Omega primed is equal to omega plus ve over r sine theta. So roughly how big is alpha? Well, if sine theta is about half, and the northward component of the velocity is, say, 20 miles per hour, our omega, the tangential velocity at the equator, that's about 1,000 miles per hour. This gives a value of alpha of about 2.3 degrees. So it's a relatively small correction. But obviously, over time, or if you're in a submarine, it might be important for long-distance navigation. Now, in retrospect, the final answer can also be seen by taking the Earth. We have our ship here, and it's moving in a direction. It has northward velocity given by this, but it has an eastward velocity in the inertial frame of this thing plus the rotation of the Earth, so it's in that direction. That gives us an angle alpha. And that corresponds to rotating, not about this axis, but an axis which is shifted by an angle alpha. So in this case, our gyro compass pointing in the direction here with this value alpha. And again, you can see alpha is therefore the inverse tan of the northward component velocity, divided by the eastward plus our omega sine theta, that last term corresponding to the tangential velocity of the Earth at that latitude. Now, one thing we might want to do is introduce some damping into the gyro compass. If alpha naught is inverse tan Vn over VE plus r omega sine theta, then our differential equation is alpha double dot plus eta squared alpha minus alpha naught is equal to 0, close to the equilibrium point. Let's change this by introducing a frictional term. So we'll have mu times alpha dot, and I should say that eta you get by expanding the equation of motion, and it turns out to be square root of c omega sine theta over a. We get critical damping when, that should be minus, that's plus alpha double dot plus mu alpha dot plus eta squared alpha minus alpha naught is equal to 0, where the auxiliary polynomial associated with this equation has a repeated root, so you'd have mu is equal to 2 eta. So if you can arrange it so that your damping is of this form, in minus 2 eta alpha dot, then you'll get optimal convergence to the equilibrium point. Okay, so what we have been able to do is show that a gyro compass will naturally align itself with true north if it's stationary, or at a particular angle which is known to true north if it is in motion. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, that was clear as
Yeah.
Well, he got it all wrong because the answer is, as we know, is 42. We know this. It's the answer to
okay.
it. That's why I know these things. I was following through the whole thing, every word he said. And, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, this. Gary, why bother?
Yeah, Gary, why bother?
Quite.
Timbo said, yeah, Terry fell asleep and left it running. Yeah, sorry. Terry wants everyone to leave. Got it. Well, in a minute and 24 seconds, this can all go. I'll finish this off.
Why? We have is an angle from here. Angles matter. Angle over here. The angle. All these angles matter. All angles. Angles. Well, that would be like angle.
The angle of the dangle.
Yeah, that's what I said. I can't hear the twang.
I can.
No, I can't.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Wouldn't these rubber bands be out of tune?
Angles.
Angles, dangle.
Angles.
I'm sorry I left you with that. What was that, Fondle? Gary got further than most flirts, recognised Alpha as an angle, not as much as them think. Toxic attitude. Yeah. Anyway, I've already said me goodbyes out in the peanut gallery. Thanks, Farmer. Thanks, Blue. Thanks for your video. E equals MC over C squared. I'll let that a new one today. Thanks, Alan. Thanks, Space Mutt. Thanks,
Always
Paul.
a pleasure, never a chore.
Yep.
Grumpy,
Well.
Gundatilla, Truth Nerds, Fondle, Scott. Who else? Yes, Alan. Rainery.
What did I say?
He didn't say a word.
Okay. I heard him mumble. I thought he was saying something.
No, that was me.
Oh, it was you. Oh, sorry, Farmer.
It's all right.
John, Truth Nerds. Clive. Thanks for your video, Clive. Thanks, Jose. Anamorphic. Turtle. I know Dora was there earlier. And Carl. Astro Rex. Granary, Demon Orb. You still with us, Carl, or did you get a blackout? Rainy Beaver.
Don't forget Zebulon's my mum.
Okay.
Sure.
Truth Nerd. Anamorphic. I think I already said Anamorphic. Mark Bizer. TT Guy. Oh, TT Guy was out there earlier. Astro Rex. M2M. Yeah. Sub to M2M's channel. You might see something interesting about space and stuff.
And stuff.
And stuff, yeah.
Maybe some things on there as well.
Oh, some stuff and things. Okay.
Yeah.
John Stock. Who am I missing out on? Oh, Surf. No, that's it. I've reached me.
Zebulon's mum.
Where's Zebulon's mum? I didn't see it.
No, you have to say goodbye to Zebulon's mum.
Okay, I'll say goodbye to Zebulon's mum.
Good night, Zebulon's mum.
Yeah, good night, Zebulon's mum. Oh, no power cuts. No power cut today, Carl. Ah, cool.
No, it's done well then.
Yeah. All right then. I'm out of here. Night panel, night peanuts.
Not peanuts.
Yeah.
Everyone.
What's
Keep it flat.
What's
keep it flat. Keep it dark. It's about flat.